What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. According to the calendar, I'm Brandon Toy for the Brandon Ranty Show. Something like that. Anyway, welcome to the show. Good to see a few people, quite a few in there. Let me give some shout outs and then I'll do my plugs and we'll go from there. We got some people in Discord. I'm sure we've got some good stuff to talk about. And we'll see how it goes. I see Ranty. What's up, Ranty? How you doing, they? Ian Adams, Colin Dresser, Ian Matterson, Page 42, YouTube. What's up, dude? Carol Stanowski, and let's see, Matrix Media. Globebusters was first tonight, so he's got that up there. Bill G, what's up, Bill G? And I think I got everybody there. So, I'm going to put a link in the chat to my channel, the Brandon Toy channel, and I'd appreciate it if you haven't subscribed yet to go on over there, subscribe, check it out, and, give me a subscribe. I do usually post the after show over there. So like anywhere from 45 minutes to a couple hours worth of content from after the show. And there's been some good stuff in there. So check that out. I've got some other videos, older videos. You can check those out too. There's multiple ways you can support the channel. Via Super Chat, of course. That's always available. And then there are channel memberships and also PayPal links in the description and next to the YouTube information. Both of those go directly to Ranty while he's rehabilitating from his medical condition. So he's doing okay. Obviously, he's in the chat with us tonight, but he is on an extended break. So I'm sure that would be very helpful to him. You can also become a patron. The link is in the description for that. So check that out if you're interested. All right, let's check in on the Discord and see what's going on. I see some people in there. We should have a pretty live one tonight. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hey, coming through loud and clear?
Yep.
Good, all right. We've got Ambiguous Truth. Hi, Ambiguous Truth.
Howdy.
I think this is the first time I've seen you in here. Do I know you by a different name, maybe? Or is this your first time?
No, yeah, first time.
Okay, well, welcome to the show. We've got Dr. Professor Ether Band Boy, otherwise known as The Plain Truth, a.k.a. Travis. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Jeremy, what's going on?
Yo.
Just chilling.
Cool. Jimbo? You there, Jimbo? We'll come back to you. Aaron, Patient Zero, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing? Hope everything's all right.
Yeah, it's been a long couple days. I was out yesterday. I apologize for not having a show, but the family is sick. You know, I had to take care of them. So luckily, I think it's I fought it off myself. But, you know, I'm doing good. So everybody's pretty good. Jimbo, what's up? You there now?
Hey, I had a pit stop. Yeah, I made it back. Doing okay. How's everybody? Hope things are good. And certainly missed the show yesterday, but that can happen, eh? Gotta live with it. Arg! But anyway.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Actually, Jimbo, before I forget, Dr. John D is trying to get a hold of you. So if you could hit me up on Skype, I think he wants to have a conversation with you.
Don't even bother.
Right on. I got no.
Wasting time.
Oh, somebody's mic's open.
Dr. John D, like I recognize that's not Dr. Zach. That's another one of the doctors. Eh, Dr. John D. I'm trying to place him in the scheme of things.
Yeah, he's a regular around here on the show, in the chat and stuff.
Right,
he's a good guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I just have no short-term memories and stuff there. Too much weed, maybe.
Okay.
Anyway.
Dr. John D did the France from Wales, didn't he?
Oh, right on. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Did he hit you up on Skype and like, hey, I want to have a conversation?
I haven't been on Skype for a few days myself.
Oh, because he's supposed to, let me tell you, he is an absolute waste of time, right? So he's talking
Unlike
about,
you.
Well, hold on. Before you get into that, let me finish the introductions and then we'll get going. Sorry to interrupt you.
way to chime in there, Jeremy, with your personal opinion.
Well, that's what this show's all about. But
offer nothing.
I know. I just want to.
nothing at yourself.
If I don't stick to a schedule, then I'll forget. Bob Dole, what's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, all right, and right the hand, Untamed Fame. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing
Already causing
Yeah.
trouble.
bro. Just talking causes. Just having my opinion causes trouble.
Yeah, that'll happen. So you've been having some conversations with John, or Dr. John, on the side.
Yeah, he sounded all like official. He was like, "Well, good day, my fine sir, this evening. Would you care to partake in a lively discussion about aether and energy?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I didn't. The name sounded familiar, but I'm like, oh, he sounds like a globe troll." So he starts talking about like energy, right? Blah blah blah, and then I'm like, I state my definition. Energy is the chemical utilization of matter. So he goes, but what is matter? And I'm going, okay, matter is a physical object or structure. And he goes, but what does it mean to have physical structure? And I'm going, it means to occupy space in reality. He goes, well, what is occupying space? I'm like, look, if you're just going to keep asking question after question, never give me anything unique, then you're an idiot and you're useless. So I was like, look, either give me a unique positive thought on something I said, or you're just like WS in the chat. You just asked the same thing because you're trying to get to a certain point. And he just couldn't do it. He's a waste of time. I'll show you the thing. It's just they all do the same thing. When you take them right to where they're going to be wrong, they just shut off. Like, look at the chat right now. Look at WS, how he just keeps copying and pasting the same thing. I asked you a question. I asked you. Because they just don't want to have the conversation of, if you are asking me, that means you don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So they're going to ask us, well, how does the sun set on a flat earth? So you don't know. So you have no fucking idea. So you can't assert anything because you already established that you don't know. And this is just the ring around the crap that they give you, these words in a circle.
So I've never had any experience with Dr. John D that wasn't positive. And you know what's funny? I was reading your Skype conversation with him, and I was thinking, this is kind of along the lines of what Right the Hand's been talking about. These guys should like hook up and talk. Your name must be different on Skype. That must have been you.
Yeah, I'm Clutch 123.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he seemed like he was going down the same path you were, trying to define physical and space and real and all that stuff.
Yeah, but when you give it to him, that's when he won't agree. He would never agree on anything. I was like, agree or disagree on my definition. And instead of agreeing on anything, he would just ask another question, which was basically the same. He asked 5 times for me to somehow explain physical matter. I used occupied space in reality, physical structure, matter, a chemical, like every possible way you can describe an object. I tried, and he just kept asking, huh? What? Why? And I was just like, look, this is what bowlers do. They have nothing. They have been trained in just hearing something and repeating it. They don't think for themselves, because if they thought for themselves, they wouldn't be ballers. So they can't get past that way of learning, right? So they have to be told what it is, or else they can't think.
But Dr. John D's not a baller as far as I know, is he?
Well, he sure
Hell no,
talks.
he ain't a baller.
No, he's not a baller, dude.
He
He
ain't a
does.
fucking
He,
baller. Hey,
yeah,
what
he's
was
a
y'all's
flat
point of
earther for
contention?
sure, or somewhere along that
What was
persuasion. I don't
y'all's
want to
point of
speak for him, but
contention, Right to Hand.
He could not. Okay, it's the same with like Jeremy's. Nobody is capable, or maybe I'm Doc and Xavier are the only people that somehow have the brain to establish the difference between a real physical object like a rock and the words we use to describe them. People cannot do that. They cannot say, well, and I was like, look, the reason Santa is not real is because there is no Santa Claus physical structure. If you sat and saw Santa going from chimney to chimney delivering presents, you grabbed his beard, watched him eat cookies, you couldn't say he's fake because he was in existence. The fact that there is no Santa, there is no matter to make up Santa to have him exist, that's what makes things not real. But they can't do that because once they establish that line, they can't make the ball Earth. So it's just this, or you're whatever you want to believe. But he wasn't genuine. If you give me something, he just wasn't. You just.
okay. Well, you guys obviously have a difference of opinion. Let's see. What is real and what I've been thinking about is water being flat. Have you ever guys ever noticed that water finds its level? Because
What about a raindrop?
Yeah, I got that the other night. A raindrop, and someone sent me a picture of a fountain. And I'm just thinking to myself, how in God's name does a fountain prove that there can be a gigantic hump of water in the middle of every large lake, and not to mention the Pacific Ocean?
There's a rule, and it applies to what we call mobile fluids, mobile liquids. Mobile means they flow and stuff. Is they will fill a container and conform to the size of whatever they're in and lay flat.
Well, yeah,
Water has
that's
a little bit of
what.
an uptick at the side. That's just surface tension. A drop of water can form a bead, sure. But if you add some wetting agents like they do in car finishes and other stuff, what it does is it reduces the surface tension so it doesn't form a bead. So it lays flat on the car and sheds off easier. Because the little beads are no good. Out in the sunlight, they act like magnifying glass and they burn through the paint. So you don't want beads on your car after you wash it in the sun.
How about this? What shape is water when it's not moving?
Well, right.
Yeah, that was me. I asked that, and nobody answered the question.
I thought it sounds like a rhetorical question, though. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, it'll conform
The
to
shape of the container.
Yeah, you're roboting, Jeremy.
It's like nobody looks at water at all. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean? We
I
talk
asked
about water
that
all the time.
question because I'm hearing people say, "Oh, it doesn't curve. It's always flat." That's a lie. We know what water looks like.
Well, let me tell you this.
Water
If you
was-
took the
It's
Pacific
not
Ocean,
magic.
if you took the
No.
contours of the Pacific Ocean and the waves and all that shit, and you made a, let's say, a basketball-sized object out of it, that size, like a flat, a flat piece of iron to represent that, it would be smoother than a cue ball. That's how little those waves and stuff matter. It would be so smooth on the scale that we're
water
talking
at
about
rest.
as a flat, horizontal surface on the Pacific Ocean. That waves, raindrops, none of that shit matters.
It matters if you're saying it's all flat, but it's
looked at
not.
the
Yes, at a lake, of course, when it's still, it looks flat. But you're saying water is always flat and it never curves. That's not true.
Well, there's a difference between flat and horizontal, right? Like the water.
no.
Hold on. The water is laying horizontal. Okay, now flat would mean that there's no waves, there's no valleys, there's no mountains. Like it is a table. Like we don't think the Earth is a table. There's hills, but if you had the entire course of the Earth, right, it doesn't curve underneath itself. Water would never curve underneath itself. That's a waterfall falls. It doesn't do the waterfall thing, then continue around and just keep making this big circle. That's ridiculous. Like we don't never see that. To entertain that idea, I think is part of the problem.
Yeah, can you show us
Hey,
some
can we get a
evidence,
mic check?
Nappy, that's taking place? Because personally, I've never seen any evidence that there's these giant mounds.
Literally showing
Mic check.
pictures.
What picture? What are you talking about?
Like
check,
if you
mic
look
check.
on the
Hear ya.
Yeah, we hear you, Brian.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I was just trying to make sure I was being heard, but water at rest. Water at rest is what we're referring to. And anybody who deviates from that, yeah, of course, yeah, waves, raindrops, all that. No. Water at rest. Finds
Well,
its level.
not only that,
Yeah,
not
I
only
know
that.
that. Exactly. Yes. But other people are saying different things. And I'm like, that's not true.
Well, doesn't
Of
water
course
needs to
that
be
lake
contained?
in the picture looks flat. Of course. But someone is saying, oh, it never curves. And yes, it does. Water can change to anything. I don't get what people mean by it. That's what I'm saying. Of course that's flat. It's still. You get it?
Do anything. It has to follow the laws and behaviors of itself. It can't just do anything. Water has to do what it can do, and it cannot, in mass, stick to a ball. A ball cannot contain water. Balls don't contain water. In order to contain water, you need some type of sides, right? Without the sides, the
According
water.
to who?
According to
you?
water.
No,
According
according
to
to
the
you.
physics of fluid.
According to you, this is supposed to happen. I want to see
No,
someone
not
who
according to
actually
me.
has a degree in something physics to
You
tell
don't
me
need
that. Not
Water
Okay, so
some
needs a
random
hold on,
container
YouTuber
or
like
it runs
you.
away.
You need a degree. You need to go to school to tell somebody how water behaves? You don't just need
Yes,
eyes
you
and
do. Yes, you do.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You need to go to
Okay.
school to be a doctor in order to know what diseases are, don't you?
So you need to be a
You don't
doctor
just
to know
become
how
a
water works.
doctor just by
We're not talking about being a
looking up
doctor. We're
something
talking
on
about
the
how
web.
water works.
You have to
Well,
have
you
an
don't-
education to. All right, you know what I mean. You know
You
what I
need an
mean.
What degree would
education.
qualify
You know
you?
exactly what I
All I just
mean.
wanna
I
know
don't
is-
care
Well, we
what
can't hear what
degree
you
it
guys,
is.
what your
I'm saying
arguments
you
are.
need
If you guys
a
could just
degree
take turns,
some
speak one at a time,
subject.
appreciate it.
Like, do you need a degree to come to observe water and how it behaves? Like, do you need to go to school for 4 years and take tests, written tests, to be able to observe water and its behaviors? Is that what
You
you're telling
don't
us?
need to have a degree to observe water. Fucking duh. But if
Oh,
you are saying
so-
that the water is supposed to behave like this or that or this, you don't know that because you haven't studied in that area. Like,
Wouldn't
I
you
can't
say
say,
that-
oh, the heart is supposed to do this. That's a lie. I don't know that because I never went to medical school.
Okay, so
So
what
you're
did you say?
making up what's supposed to happen. You can't just make up and say, oh, water can't stick on the ball. Why not?
Okay.
How do you know that?
Okay, so if we were trying to find out what water would do, wouldn't we observe water?
Why are you not answering the question? That's not what I'm asking. You know exactly
Well,
what I'm saying.
No, I am. Well, you're telling me we need to know how water behaves, and I'm going, wouldn't we look at how water behaves to figure out how water behaves?
You know when I'm talking. No,
Okay, so you're just
you
not
don't
gonna
need
answer.
No.
to. If you're
But
just looking
okay,
at
here's the
water,
question.
you can just
How do
look
we
at
figure
water
out-
and not have a degree. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Like,
That's why I'm
as
asking
far
you.
as the
Are you
physics
telling me?
And like the physics part, you do need an education to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so when we're
You
talking
can't
the
just say, "Oh,
If you
water's
just mute
supposed
her,
to do
we
this.
will lose
it's supposed to
nothing
do
for this
that."
conversation. Like, it won't hurt anybody.
Yeah, just so you know, she's telling you that in order to gain the properties of water, which
That's
we
not
figure
what I
out.
said.
Hold
That's
on,
not
you're
what I
interrupting.
said. That's not what I
Okay, so
said.
look
Think for
right now.
yourself.
It's not our job to teach little children like this who have not even done the basics
Yeah,
of logic
can't-
and comprehension. Okay?
She can't think for herself. She can't make her
No,
own
she can't.
decisions or
I
even
can't
opinions.
There's
think
no
for
need to
myself.
insult, guys. Come on, man. What's wrong with you guys?
It's not
I
any
think
more
for
of an
my
insult
fucking
than
self. I
calling
don't
someone
need to
ignorant.
fucking
It's not our job to
conspiracy
teach
YouTube
little
fucking
children.
Hey
channel
guys, we're
to tell me
quickly
what
getting
the
out of
fuck
Okay,
to
control,
do.
and
okay,
I
okay.
agree with
Right,
SE
okay?
Montreal that we
Don't
don't
say
need
that
to insult
oh,
each
just
other.
'cause I believe in a ball.
Yeah, well,
Are
I
you
got somebody telling me
serious?
I need
Hold
an
on, slow down,
education to
guys.
observe
So
water.
what was your point, Nappy? What was your
I
point?
need an education to know certain stuff. We all need education to learn certain stuff. I'm not saying you in specifically. I'm saying people in general. You don't just make up something that's supposed to happen if you don't
Would it
know
be-
nothing about it.
Wouldn't the education of what water does come from observation of what water does, not what somebody does?
Why are you asking me the same fucking
Well,
question?
because you
though?
haven't answered. Because what you're saying is, in order to figure out.
answered
Hold
your
on, let me talk. Let me talk.
Oh
Nappy,
my
Nappy,
God.
don't. Come on. Don't interrupt me, please. Because what you're telling us is that water has these set behaviors. And before you can figure out what those set behaviors are, you need to go to some guy and get an education and figure those out. But how is he going to figure it out? He's probably going to go to water and see how it acts and then tell me, shit, hold on, why don't I just cut the middle? And then I can directly observe water myself and I can learn the properties and behaviors of water myself. And that way nobody can
So you
lie
know
to
the properties of water by yourself.
No, but no.
You
We're
know
talking about.
water is not supposed to be sticking to a ball. You know that as a fact.
I said,
Please tell
don't
me
you
how you
hold
know
on.
that.
Slow down.
I'm saying anybody who's going to give you education on the behaviors of water will have went to the behaviors of water. So you don't need to go to a person or a school because they're just going to go to the behaviors of water. So you can just grab water, a whole bunch of shapes, a whole bunch of objects, and do it yourself and then observe what happens. And that's exactly what they're going to do, right? They're going to
Nappy,
look at water.
I was just going to ask Nappy if she knows the first step in the scientific method.
No, I don't claim to know everything in science because guess what? I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know everything. That's what I'm
Wouldn't
saying.
a scientist get it from experiments,
Yeah,
which
you're
is
not
the
a scientist, and
observation
there are
of
plenty
water?
of things that's supposed to happen that you don't know is supposed to happen.
The only way
I
you
can't
can know
give
what's
you all
going to
the
happen is by
scientific stuff
watching it.
because I don't know it.
How would you know a rock falls if you didn't drop it?
Why do you keep asking irrelevant
Because
questions?
we're
'Cause
getting
that
to
has
where
nothing
the
to
big.
do. It has
No, it
nothing to
does. It
do
has
with the
everything
fuck
to
I'm
do with it.
saying. Nothing.
It does
You
because you're
always
saying
asking stupid ass
Listen,
irrelevant questions.
So then listen, you're saying the foundation of knowledge comes from the education which is given to you by other people. And I'm saying, no, you're fucking wrong. The
What's wrong?
foundation of
You're getting
knowledge.
your
Hold on,
information
let
Hold
me
on,
from
don't
finish.
interrupt,
other
Let me
please.
finish and you'll understand
So
why you're
does it
wrong. Let me,
matter?
Zabby, come on. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. You're saying the foundation of knowledge or education and where we learn our truths comes from people in school. And I'm saying that's bullshit. All of the foundation of knowledge will come from the observation of the real world. You can't tell me how. You can't say if a rock is going to fall without dropping a rock because you don't know, just like you said, you don't know what will happen. So the only way to know what will happen is to go see it happen. So when you're trying to tell us that water will do these things, water does things that you never see happen. Yeah, that's why this is how the ball earth is created, with things they never see happen and just beliefs.
I actually agree with her right the hand on this.
You're a baller, just like her. Why
Shut up, dude. I'm not a glober. Why would you even say that, bro? I was agreeing
Because
with
you
you. Why
agree
would you
with
even say
Glober's
that?
thing.
Guys, let's keep that hums out of this.
He wasn't a flat earther.
Hold on,
You
guys.
literally said
We
he
don't
wasn't
need
a
to
flat
call each
earther.
other
So what the
ballers. We
fuck
don't
is he
need to
talking
accuse each
about?
other of being shills. Let's just keep it civil tonight. But I do want to hear, Jeremy, what is your source of disagreement? Why don't you and Right the Hand discuss that for a minute?
Oh, I said I agree with him. I was agreeing with him just now. I said I agree with
We
him.
thought
That'll
you
never work.
said that you agreed with Nappy.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's what I heard too.
I did not
No,
say
not
that.
me. I heard him agree with right hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. It's one of those black dress, blue dress things. All right. Well, I guess there's nothing much to talk about there then. Aaron, you chimed in there for a minute. What did you have to say?
Oh, I was just going to ask Nappy what the first step in the scientific method is, if she knew. And I did hear Jeremy say, I actually agree with Right the Hand now. So
I had everyone in gems. When you're done, I had everyone in gems earlier with the scientific method. I'll tell you about it later. Go ahead.
You're roboting pretty
Just
bad,
because-
Jeremy.
just because Nappy, if you can Google it real quick if you want scientific method, and but make sure you go to a scientific website. And as far as I know or have checked, the first step is to observe a phenomenon, or what they call. So
That's the only step. That's the only. Hold on. Look. Think about this. That is of that process, right? That is the only thing you can actually do is observe a process, right? They'll say, well, make a hypothesis. That's a bunch of thinking. They'll say an experiment. That's observing a process. They'll say a conclusion. That's brain function. There's only one step. The only empirical, and this is the point I was making, the only empirical source for information and data is extrapolation from reality. You do not know how anything is going to do anything until reality tells you. Then once reality tells you, bam, you've observed the process and you now know. You think people knew rocks dropped at 9.82 meters per second just based on like the other? No, you have to drop the rock. Reality has to tell you first, and then you play telephone from there.
Well, and we certainly should be able to observe everything that we're told by the so-called experts and, in the education field by just going out and observing it ourselves. But I do have one question for you, Nappy. It sounded like you were contending that you need to have a degree in order to really know something or have an opinion on something. Do you think that someone should have a political science degree in order to disagree with politicians or, say, the president?
That's not what I'm saying. Oh my God.
Well, clarify
I'm not
yourself. It's
saying
okay.
that-
Clarify.
I'm saying you don't need an education to know what water looks like. But if you're making claims and saying something is supposed to do something and you actually don't know that, that's different. Like, I don't know why does the earth like rotate, orbit? I don't know that because I'm not an astrophysicist. They would know that, not me. That's what I'm saying. Of course
They
you
don't
don't
know
need
that.
a degree.
Listen, there's
Of course you
never
don't need a
been
degree to look
ever.
at
Hold
something.
on.
Duh.
There's never been a demonstration of an orbit ever. Ever,
It was an
ever. They
example.
cannot
It was an
demonstrate an orbit.
example.
Why do you think we're here, Nappy? You got to
It was
loosen your
an
brain up a
I'm
little bit.
using an example as what you need a degree for. I'm not saying, I'm just using that as example.
All right, Nappy, real quick.
I
Let me
know.
just hold on, just real quick, Nappy. Let me try to get some feedback. You said that if one of us was going to observe water and then make claims about water, but we don't know what water does, okay, that's what you said. How do you know we don't know what water does?
Shout
Because
out
you
Etherbase.
don't have any special training in any of the stuff.
Okay,
It's like,
again,
What degree
exactly,
would qualify you?
exactly. I don't know what degree that is. I don't know that.
Can I say something?
Don't
Hey,
know what
Nappy,
you're
look.
talking
Just
about.
saying.
If you dig into
You're
this
just
stuff,
throwing out
Nappy,
random bullcrap.
To
Is
know,
what
do
you're
you
doing.
know everything about the human body? No. Who
okay,
would you
listen,
go to
we're
ask?
not making
A
claims
doctor.
about the human body. We're not making claims about the human body.
But that's
Let's
the
try to-
example I'm giving.
Right, but see, when Right the Hand brought up another example to try to get you to think outside the box, you shut him down.
And we aren't making claims
I'm
about
done.
knowing
I'm
what
done. It's
everything
okay.
about
Y'all
water
know
is.
what-
Wait, hold
y'all
on.
know
Before she
what-
goes, hold on,
it's
guys.
okay.
Hold on.
You get. I'm
Hold on.
done. I'm done. It's okay.
Hold on, Nappy. Hold on.
No, it's no
Nap,
lie.
hold on,
Guys,
y'all.
too many
You
at
got
once.
Let her
fucking
go.
people out here insulting people for what they believe in, but don't expect to get insulted when you believe in something.
I'm with you.
Nah, I'm done. I'm done.
Wait a
I'm with
minute.
you on
Wait a
that.
minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We defended you when you got insulted, Nappy.
I will defend you to the end. Don't worry. Let me ask you a question, Nappy. I get what you're saying. Let me see if I understand you, and I agree with you. In order for somebody, let's say me now, I was gonna have a heart surgery, right? There's no way I would let a plumber touch my heart, right? This is what you're getting at, right?
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
And I agree with you 100%. None of us here have. Hold on, please, Brian. Give me just 30 seconds, bro, and then I'll let you go. So I would never let a plumber touch my heart. But Nappy, some things are evident. Like for example, water, right? We know water. You don't have to be a genius to understand water. We know that water always, no matter what container the bottom of you put it, when it rests, it's flat on top, right? Now I ask you this: have you ever seen an instance where water curved around the ball in your life?
Like what ball? Like just a regular like ball on
Just
Earth?
say
Anywhere,
Essie, just say
anywhere,
shape.
anywhere, ever.
No, because I can't see Earth from space, so I don't know that. I don't know how it looks from there.
This
On the
is it. So
ground,
the
no, it
only,
doesn't.
yeah, agreed. So the only way
But
we
if
have
somebody's
to.
doing, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
All
you
right,
go
let me
ahead.
give an example,
Go
SC.
ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, check this out. So we hold on. So we went to see how they figured out the distance to the sun. We looked into everything in depth, right? And now here's how they did it. And this is what they back up. So what they did is they made a guess that Venus.
State of water on the
Yeah, I know.
ball.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, dude. You brought up all this contention. I'm trying to say what we've done. So what they've done. She mentioned astrophysicists. Okay, so we wanted to see how far, how they figured out the distance. Shut the fuck up, dude. So we wanted to figure out the distance to the sun, how they figured it out, right? Because these people went to school, these astrobiologists, and we figured out they claimed that they just made a claim and a guess that Venus is the same size as Earth. Okay, this is how they figured out the distance to the sun. Then they observed the transit of Venus across the sun.
From the fucking point, bro. Brian is
Let him finish. Right the hand, please. Let him finish. Let him finish his point, please.
We were talking water sticking to.
All right, let him get the point out. We won't deviate. I'll bring it back to the subject. Go ahead, Brian. Finish your statement.
Yeah, my point is the way these professionals figured stuff out was with guesses, was with pretty much assumptions. They assumed that Venus was the same size as Earth, okay, and then they measured the transit of Venus across the sun, how long it took, and all this stuff. That's how they figured this stuff out. It's all guesses and math and. So as far as water, I mean, just all this stuff, if you look into how the professionals figured it out, every single situation is all assumptions and guesses. There's no proof of orbits. There's no proof of all these claims they're making. We've delved into it. If there was proof, we wouldn't be here. Go ahead.
Okay, look, he distracted totally.
Let Nappy respond. Let Nappy respond. We'll come back. Nappy?
I'm just done. I'm done. Like, when somebody expresses their beliefs, oh, you're a baller, and you got people like disrespecting them and stuff. Like, are you fucking serious?
Wait a minute, weren't
Like,
you
when
calling
ask
us? Hold
people-
on a minute. Don't go down this road of crying about being insulted and people making fun of your beliefs. You're in our Discord every day
No.
saying flat Earth is stupid. It'll never go anywhere. You call us cult members. You call me brainwashed. You say it's gonna die. No one will ever believe it.
You told me I was inbred.
Attack me too.
So what's
No,
up with that?
We're being respectful to you. Come on now.
We're
Come
trying
on.
to have a conversation
conversation.
about
I'm talking
this.
about you.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about there.
Bro, there's a
We're-
huge point that look, here's the point. We were talking about in reality seeing water sticking to a ball. And what she said was, well, I've never seen Earth. So the only ball that she's ever seen water stick to is the ball she's
That's
never
not what I
seen.
said, but okay.
That's and this is what Brian was trying to get away from. We were like, when have you seen water stick to a ball? And she said, when the ball was so big, I've never seen it. That's their argument. When the ball is so big and I can't see water stick to it, that's when water sticks to it. That's the argument. So
Okay.
that's what needs to be
I'm done.
addressed.
You really don't have to worry about me saying nothing.
I mean, you don't think when you get pointed out that you're in a religion.
apologize.
If I was in a religion and I believe something that I've never seen and somebody pointed it out, I'd either be like, wow, you're right, or I would figure out a way to discredit them. Usually it's through verbal attacks, right? Oh, right the hand, you're so stupid. You make no sense, right? Things like that.
Hold on, you're not talking about water, dickhead. You're not talking about water. Don't deviate.
Bro, I'm making the best point.
You did deserve that a little, right? The hand. Come on.
A little bit.
Yeah, but okay, so somebody addressed the point I made. The only time water has been observed to stick to a ball is when you can't observe the ball to observe it stick. Okay, that's their argument.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see evidence. That's my problem. I've been asking for evidence of this for a long time. We've, say they show us pictures and insist that the water hump is blocking stuff, but that contradicts what they say about refraction and light. And then you've got turbidity. You've got all this stuff you got to add, and you have to make so many assumptions to believe this. I'm not willing to make any more assumptions, especially based on what the powers that be tell us. I'm just not. They lost my trust a long time ago. Show me the fucking evidence. Excuse my language.
Right. Basically, that's their appeal. It's it's basically a fallacy of appealing to the numbers are too big. The evidence that they need to prove the thing is so big or so hard or so expensive or too much, they can't do that for us, so we have to just accept it and that's it. Well, that's not a real argument.
Scale negator.
They'll tell you the only time we can test the ball, the only time water will stick to a ball for a test is when the ball is too big to test. So you're
Right.
like, so I've said this before, and they'll say yes. So I'm like, so the only test that proves water sticks to a ball is when the ball's too big to do the test. And they're like, yeah. So
Do
I'm
you
like,
not
wow.
realize how broken that request is?
Well, it's your belief. Do you not realize that if you believe that, your beliefs are then broken and cannot be falsified, and you've created a
but
religion within itself?
What you're asking for is me to show you a planet with water sticking to it. That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it is. You're right. Your beliefs are ridiculous. I'm glad you agree.
That's not what I said.
Well, why don't you just show an orbit then? Show an orbit.
You said it was ridiculous to show you a planet with water sticking to it. I agree. You will never see a planet with water sticking to it because it's ridiculous. We both think the same thing. You just believe it's ridiculous for another reason.
I can give you any number of strengths of magnets. Show me orbits. It's non-demonstratable. Okay. Besides that, they told us that in middle school we could drop something the same size. Okay, we could drop it. So I take a ping pong ball and a golf ball and I drop it and I do this report and I get an A+. But they fell at the same rate. But then I go up on the roof and drop them. Okay, they have the same wind resistance and they're the same size, but I go up a little bit higher and drop it and the golf ball falls faster. Okay, and they got the same wind resistance, everything. And then the same thing with plants breathing breathing carbon dioxide and letting out oxygen. They proved that wrong. All these things they teaching us are not demonstratable. You look into it, scratch the surface, and it's all BS. The things we're taught are not all accurate.
Right the hand triggered me.
My favorite.
He said he was talking about the rock falling, and then Nappy was bringing up scholars. So, I think Ratjan's point was like, the first, in order for the scholar to study how the rock falls, you got to pick it up and drop it. And my mind went over to Newton, with the apple banging him on the head, and I was thinking like, wow, so Newton's a scholar. he witnessed something falling, and boom, we have the reason for falling. And then I was like, well, weren't there scholars and all these geniuses, like Greek, Italian, Rome, English, all over the world before Newton, right? There were, right, all these intellectual studies, but apparently nothing fell. Nothing fell before Newton, right? So they never ever thought about it, right? They never thought about it because nothing fell before Newton. The very first thing we ever had falling was the apple on fucking dumbass's head, and here we are today, right?
Well, and how do you get anywhere productive if you are required to have a degree in a certain topic? I mean,
Bro, what
you
about
can't have an
before degrees were
intellectual.
invented? What did they do?
All right, listen, I've got a picture of the blue marble or whatever picture it is. Let's see which one this is. This ridiculous. Russia's satellite's 121 megapixel image of Earth is the most detailed yet. Here, I'll share my screen, and you guys just take a look at this because I like to do this every day. Just think about how absolutely ridiculous this thing looks. A ball.
Is that the one with all the colors, the weird colors?
It's not just this one, just any of them. Though I just picked this one. This one looks especially
that looks real to me.
crazy. A spinning ball floating through space. Show me the evidence. I am not believing it unless I can see it, touch it, or feel it when it comes to this. This is Santa Claus level crap.
Oh my god, this is beyond ridiculous, man.
No one noticed for a
Painting.
That's it. Look.
Is it the Himawari?
That's the blue marble with an overlay.
Looks like it's got a mold on it.
Here's what they say:
It's
the
Photoshop,
color
but-
schemes.
but it has to be.
The color schemes comes from the color schemes. The color schemes come from the image capture method, which combines data from 3 visible and 1 infrared wavelength of light when it takes full-size images of Earth every 30 minutes. It doesn't take 30 seconds to take a full-size image. It takes like a split second. The shutter opens and it closes. So what are you doing for 30 minutes?
It's got to go all the way around to get the other side.
Yeah, so it can wrap it around this imaginary ball, and they can just put this out there, and people go, oh, look at how pretty it is. We live on that. Sorry, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, this is how they make it, right? Like this. Then you talk about it, and it's if there was no words or pictures, their entire religion wouldn't exist. It would mostly be.
Isn't it beautiful?
I think if there was no ball Earth bullshit, people would come to the conclusion that God created everything, and that's why I think they have this. Because if there was no this, people would be thinking, where did this come from? Where are we?
How come every camera and satellite is oriented the way we are, right? So you never see a picture of the Earth upside down or whatever.
Oh, they just do that in post-processing, Aaron. Come on. You have a Northern Hemisphere bias.
My bad. Okay.
We have a couple other people who have joined the panel, notably Left Lane. How you doing, Howard?
I'm great. How you doing, Brandon?
Good, man. A little bit of a mood, but I'm pretty good. And Jose JG, otherwise known as Flip Flop. What's up?
Boom!
What up? I tried to join from the Flip Flop account, but I couldn't. I forgot the username.
Okay. So what do you got for us tonight, Jose?
No, I
picture.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. That's a beautiful picture. I
Your
mean, I don't know how
password-
they did it, but it's actually beautiful, you know.
Jose, your password is will flip flop for money.
I mean, if that was the case, I would be a flat earther. Flat earthers make a shitload more money than I do in the globe.
Bigger audience for the ballers. Come on, man. You got so many a bigger pool to scoop idiots out of.
And all that institutional money
would,
coming in.
That would be a real case if I was a part of a network or kind of a collaborations and shit. But I do my own shit. I don't collaborate with anybody. I mean, people participate in my little corner, but I don't participate with them. I'm not part of any group. That's why I make no money. They make all their money because they are a big network. I am an outsider. I am my own man.
I'll give Jose props.
Nathan Oakley show. Don't give us that.
I'll give Jose props because he gave me a platform to have a short debate, a fair debate with somebody who launches these satellites and somebody who professor and I guess the best in the world, the people that Nappy had, the people she would be referring to, and he left a lot of questions unanswered. But I gotta give props to Jose for a fair platform to debate these these people.
All right, well, let's not be
This
too
is-
kind here.
This
Come
is
on
what I
now.
was talking about, making the ball real.
That's
right?
all I got.
I'm just
Right
kidding,
here.
Brian. I'm joking.
Really quick, I heard the name Nathan Oakley. You mentioned it right hand. I was a Nathan Oakley guy. Yeah, I was.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
and
are
then
you feeling
you
about the
branched
ball
off.
these
You
days,
branched off and started your own
Jose?
platform.
How do you feel about the ball these days? I mean, you're feeling 100%? You feeling 80? You feeling 20? How are you feeling?
About the ball, like Earth being not flat, being a sphere and rotating and all that shit.
And floating, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel confident because the explanations are there. There might be a little gaps and holes that I personally don't understand, but I have to accept it until another.
What about the moon?
Oh, hold on,
What about the moon
Brian. Hold
landing?
on, Brian. So yeah, it's a pretty good story, right? They got stories to go along with everything. They got books, they got movies, they got cartoons, they got a whole marketing scheme to go with the ball. It's kind of nice. You get all of it in one package. You don't have to get it from different places. You know, there's not a lot of support for flat earthers. You can get your blue marble pajamas.
Yeah, I accept it, but I question it big time. All of it.
So what is your number one proof these days that
ball?
makes you believe in the ball, Jose? What's your number one proof? I mean, the panel would probably like to hear that.
It's not like something that I can point my finger. It's like everything. I think my number one proof is looking for evidence for a flat Earth and how things work, not finding it. I say, yeah, the only explanation is a globe, you know.
And what did you look for evidence of that you couldn't find?
All of it. All of it. I hear a lot of explanations, but I don't hear backing up with cross-referencing from people versus what is documented versus tests and experiments and everything. Everything has to point to one thing, and it just broken down all over the place, the flat Earth.
Not being very specific, Jose. It's just a general feeling you have.
Yeah, just a general. No, I'm keeping it general because that's it. So the more evidence, the more that I can do, the more I can find on myself, and I can determine it's a globe. Everything points to a globe, and almost nothing to a flat Earth.
What was the final bit for
evidence?
you? What put you over the edge to go from flat earther to globe?
His blue and white tower.
My observations that when I actually caught it repeatedly with non-mirage days and more clear, the only explanation was the globe, and I concluded that myself. I didn't find anybody outside. When I was happy, I said, let me put all the possibilities, all the alternatives, all the factors. Let me try to move the dice in my mind, and yeah, the globe is the one that it stood above all of them.
How many repeated observations did you make of that blue and white tower?
The blue and white tower. I mean, I did that one that I uploaded.
Right, but you said
I got
repeatedly.
maybe one more.
You said that you've repeatedly done observations, and that's the one you go to, but you've only done it once.
Yeah, but repeatedly, I don't mean the same observation of the same spot. Repeating 10 times, I can do from 10 different locations, and I can go 100 times to each location, and I can choose the one that is non-mirage, non-wavy and atmospheric phenomena, and I can shoot the clear day, and I can put all the clear days together, and I say, yeah, this all point to a globe, versus all the mirage and atmospheric phenomena are just inconclusive. It's not that they point to the flat Earth, they are just inconclusive. The conclusive ones, the clear ones, point to the globe.
So Jose tees off on a par 3, and whether the ball goes in the hole or not, he claims hole in one and doesn't try again.
You say all the conclusive ones point to the globe. Can you give me an example?
Ask that question again. Saying hi to my neighbor.
You said all of the conclusive ones point to a globe. Can you give me an example of one of the things that you think is conclusive?
Yes, the white and blue tower, the 27 miles away bridge. Those are two of them that are actually on my channel. Yeah.
I think Travis had a good point, though. You only took that one session of photos of that water tower, right?
Yeah, all I need is a clear one. Yeah.
How did you determine that the stuff that was in the land in front of it, refraction, turbidity, waves, all of that, none of that you could attribute to what you saw as the tower being blocked?
I didn't. I just to accept that one because it was the less refracted of them all.
How did you determine it was the less refracted?
Because it represents reality the best. It
How
has
did you
all the
determine?
details.
How did you determine?
Because it represents reality the best.
You
Okay.
took
It
it.
does.
What was
Yeah,
the observer
so
height?
you know, I've got hundreds and hundreds of observations, and in all of my compilations, Jose, I have come to the conclusion, exact opposite of you, that it is actually demonstrable proof of a flat Earth. So there you go.
And that's fine. It's not a competition.
I mean, what made you think it was a globe, though, Jose?
Not finding explanations and anything working for a flatter, like a model, picture, a total explanation on what the sun, the moon, the stars, obstruction from the bottom up, calculators. It's just a lump of every single question there are. If I find three people telling me three different things that I cannot reach a conclusion, everything points to
So,
a
okay.
globe.
All right. You saw things being obstructed by the bottom up and said globe? You mentioned calculators and shit or something.
Yeah, you asked me a
Was it
few
the thing?
things.
Okay, well, let's do one at a time. Is it the bottom up? You got a problem with the bottom up obstruction?
No, I don't have any problem with it.
But you
Let's
think
all keep
that's one of the reasons? You think that's one of the reasons why it's a globe, though, right?
It's not that I think, it's just that it's just common sense when you observe these type of observations.
Let's all keep in mind that
It's common
this show right now is going to be Jose's content tomorrow for his show because that's all he has.
No, I won't. No, I won't. No, you're wrong on that.
Okay, but let's talk about this.
You're roboting, Jeremy.
You know, fuck.
Jose, what was your observer height in your blue and white tower?
Oof. I don't know, I'll say 15 feet, maybe, roughly.
Check. Am I good now?
Sounds like it.
I'm having some kind of weird issue.
Jose,
so,
what was
yeah,
the temperature? What was the temperature at the base of the blue and white tower on the day you took that shot?
Jose, what color socks did you have on?
Yeah, these are
I know,
relevant
I was
questions,
about to
though.
talk
That's
about
not
what I
relevant.
ate and all that stuff, you know?
That's not
How I
relevant.
felt
Yeah,
that
we're
day.
talking about effects that do manipulate.
My first observation showed a boat. My first observation through long distance with the P1000 that I got, I went to see for myself, right? And it was a boat out, and I couldn't see it with my naked eye, just a little bit. I could see a little spot out there. And I zoomed in, and this is over the Atlantic Ocean, right off the coast, and about half of it was missing. It was probably about 5 miles, and about half of it was missing. I was like, damn, dude, how can you know? And I just about ended it with that. I'm like, nah, I spent my money on this camera. Let me go out again. I went out again. I think it was the next day. It might have been the day after. I was anxious, and sure enough, it was all there. And since then, I see just different. It moves. Sometimes there's a barge out there about 6 miles. Sometimes it's all the way hidden, almost. Sometimes none of it's hidden. And that's when I knew that they don't fucking know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we
Okay,
keep
go like
asking
5 minutes
Jose
with
kind of the
Jose,
same questions, but I've had this discussion with you a couple times, and it sounds like it comes down to me. For you, it was a personal preference to go back to the globe. That's where you felt most comfortable. You had a couple observations that said, yeah, I can't identify for 100% that it's flat Earth, so I'm going to stick with the globe. Is that right?
See, the problem. Okay, right. The problem.
Yeah,
Jose,
somehow,
hold
somehow.
on. Yeah, but think about the contrast between you and Brian, Jose. Brian goes out and sees a boat cut in half. He doesn't say, well, that's it, right? But that's what you did with the tower. You saw it cut into, I think, 1/3 and 2/3, and you said, well, that's it. My point to you from the very beginning is, Jose, just think about this. What if you went out the next day and saw more? What if? And I'm telling you, in all of my experience, I have seen more, I have seen all, I have seen less, and I have almost seen the whole thing obscured from the same observation location, right? So
Well,
it's
let me ask you a question. When you see more, less, none, and all these things, do you have a picture of what you're looking at? Let's say you're looking at a house 10 miles away. Do you got a picture taken from a boat or street view from this house, and you say, all right, let me have this as a guide and see what I'm looking at from far distance. If I see a little really stretch, I say this is the house, yes, but it doesn't look like reality. If I see a squash, if I see it wavy dancing, and then I see one day that it look like, look at that, it look really nice and square, it looks to scale, so let me see, yeah, it looks this 100% reality, that's the one I choose to do the comparison.
Right, great.
Travis,
So,
Travis,
hold
let's do
on real
this.
quick, Aaron. Hold on real quick. Yeah, Jose, I have these on my channel. I have houses 9 miles away, as clear as day. You can see the house entirely. You can see the land underneath the house. And then from the same location on a different day, you can't see the house at all. It's gone. And then on another day, you've got half the house, and then you've got an inferior mirage underneath it. So
Travis.
yeah, I've got them all, Jose.
Let's put this to bed, Travis. I'm gonna buy your round trip ticket down to the blue and white. I think lodging will be secured. You can stay with Jose if he agrees.
No,
and,
he's not in that location anymore. He's no longer in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to say a quick comment.
No, that tower
Aaron,
was in Florida.
Aaron,
Wasn't it?
I would like to tell something to Aaron. Aaron, for
What's
the
up,
smart ass colorful comment that you made that Jose is here because he's got something to present tomorrow because he's got nothing. You can suck my big fat Puerto Rican dick, fucking piece
now
of
I know
shit.
why you're mad.
What the hell, Jose? What the hell, man? We've been treating you with respect. What are you doing?
Where did that come from?
Well, did you hear what Aaron said earlier? Jose is only here because he's got nothing to present his channel. Look at him.
You've been doing that in the
Yeah,
past, though,
taking it to
Jose.
the
He wasn't
next
making
level.
that up.
Taking it to the next level.
You have come to this show before, or other shows, and purposely trolled, tried to get us riled up, which I think is what you're doing
Since
now. So
when
no one bite
I
on
haven't
it.
been here? Since when I
and
haven't
then
been
play
here?
it
Since
to
when?
start off your
You
show.
replayed Nathan Oakley's show a couple days ago.
You've done
Since
that
when I
already.
haven't been here?
It wasn't without its it wasn't without merit. Aaron's comment wasn't without merit. He was taking a jab at you. There's no reason for you to bring in your penis size.
Since
into
when
this
I
discussion.
haven't been? I don't need none of
Listen,
this
let
shit.
it go.
I do
Let
my
it go.
own thing.
Then
You know?
go away.
I don't need none of you. See? So I'm welcome, but go away. That's it, right?
No, you
Easy.
just said you don't need us, so go away.
I came in for my own choice just because I wanted to hang out for a little bit and talk to you. What's wrong with that? You're telling me to go away now? What the fuck is wrong
You're
with
more
you?
than welcome.
No,
It's fine.
Okay, whatever.
You're more than
You're the one
welcome.
hanging out with your pants down, not us.
Well,
Let me tell y'all the rest of my story,
I'd
man.
rather be with my pants down and not with a fucking 12-inch dick up my ass, raw like you are right now.
All right, I think
All
that's
right,
enough.
y'all call it even, man. Y'all call it even.
No,
But
it's
look,
good. He's
So when I
gone.
seen these photographs,
He got what he wanted.
what I did after that is I wanted to see if the land was burning right next to the water. So about a couple weeks later, I took string lines and a bunch of stakes and I started overlapping them. I took my instrument and I realized, I got about half a mile and I was like, no, man, this ain't really going to be conclusive because the string line's sagging a little bit and and I only made it about half a mile. Then I went and took my surveying instruments and hold on a second. Let me get I'll finish this in a minute.
Hey, where was that? Where's the blue and white? Is that in Texas or Florida? Jose's tower.
Is Jose still here or did he leave?
Oh no, I muted him and he left.
Oh, okay.
Yo, am I lagging still?
Not right now. Not right now.
Us like that was enough.
Yeah.
We were treating him with respect. I don't know why he had to go into that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I wish I could have had 2 minutes with him. I would have been able to stop that whole bottom up obstruction thing right away.
Troll.
Like
Absolute troll.
Yeah, it wasn't going anywhere.
I've had enough discussions with him about the blue and white. It's in Texas. I don't know where.
Is
in
it?
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for someone. I think I'm the closest, I guess, or somebody around.
Well, who
Rocky
knows, man?
Rocky is not too far away. Just let's go do exactly what we're telling Jose he didn't do, right? And just and not that it's gonna make any fucking difference.
Well, see, that's the point. I don't have to. I can show him eye footage and show this object being completely like. I'll show you a picture of a house that you can see completely. You know it's a house. You can see the windows. You can see the roof. You can see the chimney. And then I'll show you that exact same shot, and the house is gone.
Exactly.
Here's what Jose's referring to. Listen, this is what Jose's referring to. And Jeremy, I'll be quick, but I will say that up close as far as being able to see, you can't say, we could see clearly for like 4 or 5 miles, because you still are looking for obstruction, okay? And on clear days, it's going to be way off in the distance, so it's going to be a little bit blurry. Jose's complaint is that when he gets the obstruction, he can show clear pictures of obstructions. That's on days, especially the middle of the day, summertime, with waves. I'm not sure on lakes, but where you could see obstruction from about 4 miles, 3 to 5 miles, and you see it closer, so it's clearer. You see the obstruction on days with magnification, and that's what you will get. I'm not arguing with Jose, but I'm trying to go in depth a little further with him, so we can prove if the water is bending. There's ways to prove if water is curving. And that's where I like to delve into. But go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry.
Thanks. This whole bottom-up obstruction thing is over. It's over. It's not the geometric horizon. That's the geometry of Earth. It's just an apparent place. So when they say the horizon's hiding something, well, I don't know what it is, but who cares? It's not the Earth curve. We know that. Their own people say this, that we don't see the geometric horizon.
Brandon asked Jose a series of very good, simple questions about his flip-flop-ish, and we heard it. He would not give an answer.
No, he won't. He won't.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought I was being
is
pretty polite and fair to him. I mean, if he just thought it was his personal choice to go back to the globe, so be it. Man.
Aaron made a smart ass comment. But it kind of looked like he might have been looking for that comment. I don't know, but you were being courteous. Yeah, absolutely.
He's done that before, though, Brian. He's popped on here, he's popped in another server, or he's popped in another show, and he tries to get everybody riled up. You guys did a good job not biting on it, and cause a shit show, and then he'll play it on his show the next day and make us look like jackasses. That's his little game.
Yeah, he's done that 100 times.
I think a good question for him would be
I'll give him props. Like I said, I'll give him props for what he does, not what I think of him. But he gives me a platform to debate a guy who supposedly puts satellites up and has all the information. To me that's worth something, man. To me, man. But I see what you're saying, Brandon. And he would probably see it the exact opposite. But man, I don't know, man. I'll give him props for what he does, not what nothing else.
Here's what we're saying, though,
I
Brian.
think the best thing to do is to just keep your cool, because you're right. They want us to lose our shit. So
Brian, when you're not on his show, I agree. Jose's platform like that, yes, we get the opportunity to discuss with ballers and
I've called him a dickhead.
But
I've called him an asshole, a dickhead.
Brian, when you're not on his show, there's no content. That's when he plays these clips he has of him going into other shows, doing the flip-flop, agitating, all this stuff, right? Because I like it. I listen to Jose's when you're on, when Brandon's on, Rocky is on, SE, right? That's content. That's good stuff.
Did you see my debate with Professor Phil?
No, I haven't. I don't watch.
Oh my God! It was I think it was yesterday or possibly the day before.
It was yesterday.
How'd I do, man?
It was ridiculous. The things he were saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeremy. It's all right.
Just the things he was saying was absolutely ridiculous, Professor Phil. I've dealt with this guy before. He's not on the top of the Glober pyramid. Let's put it.
Now nowhere near it. And for some reason I like his personality, even though I disagree with him. But he's like kind of, I don't know, something about him, man. You could say anything, call him a retard, whatever, man. He ain't gonna hate you for it the next day. I'm the same way. I got thick skin, and but he was saying about his main argument was, and listen to this, guys, in Australia. So he says that if the radius is 8,000 from the North Pole to the equator, then the rest of the way would be 16,000 the diameter. So multiply that times pi, that puts you around close to 50,000. So then he took that math and attributed it to, I think, Sydney, city in Australia and did the math and figured out that we would only see the sun for 10 minutes. So I mean, I could have said it right off the bat, but I wanted to stick him on that point. He kept asking me. But to make it quick, he's that would be the diameter of the sun on the very edge of the circle, and so it wouldn't be Australia, anywhere in Australia, much less Sydney. And then B, would you only see the sun when it was directly overhead? And then so it leaves from directly overhead the city, then bam, it disappears.
Yeah.
So I had to throw out a shot, call him a retard on that, but just because I thought it was retarded. But I don't know. I like Phil. No, nothing against him. I like debating. I like this topic, and he admitted right off the bat that it's an interesting debate. He didn't deny that. Ask people that. See what they say. Is flat Earth a good debate? See what they all say. They all have different answers. Most of them won't answer, but a couple of them will say it's retarded. But the honest ones will say, yeah, it's a good debate. It's an interesting debate, or just listen to their comments.
Hey, Brian,
I think some
you
of
don't
you
want to
guys-
believe
you
silly
guys-
stuff, do you? You don't want to have silly beliefs, do you, Brian? Hey, Brian, you would want to know if your beliefs are
Shut up,
silly,
dude.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be retarded. I wouldn't want to be in a retarded debate, would I?
That's what he kept saying to you. That's what caught my ear. I'm like, oh, nice little psychological trick there, Phil. Yeah, we're so stupid we can't see the little games you play. Give me a break, dude. But
As he's in that same debate, right?
yeah, come on, dude. Give me a break. Ambiguous truth. You were trying to get in there a couple times. This is a tough crowd to get a word in edgewise sometimes. What's up, man?
Yeah, no worries. I was just gonna say, I think you guys should ask Jose what would be his control picture out of all of them. Like, which picture is he taking as that is most accurate to what we observe with our eyes? And even if that's what we observe with our eyes, is that the actual location? I guess you'd probably be able to ask yourself that question if were to look over your series of pictures. Maybe whoever said the boat example. Out of all of those pictures, which one is the control? Which one is the actual position of the boat? Because clearly we see fluctuation, up, down, too foggy, upside down.
Well put.
Yeah, good
right
point.
to the point.
Very good point. And actually, I think I have asked him that before, and he has no answer for it. Honestly, it was literally a flip flop. He went from what it appeared to me, and I've watched all the videos around his transition.
Well, that's not necessarily true. He's going to say two things. The first thing he's going to say is the picture that has the least amount of refraction, and then the second thing he's going to say, and the most amount of obstruction. Okay.
That's what I mean. He's going off the
He
obstruction.
won't say the second part. No.
Yes, he will, because that's what he did, Howard. That's what he did with his blue and white tower. The blue and white tower has obstruction, and in his opinion, had minimal refraction.
Represents reality is what he says, Travis, right? This one represents reality the best. Yeah.
Okay, but listen to me. Listen to me. This is my point. I'm gonna repeat it again for the cheap seats. If he went back on a repeated basis, like I have done, like Ranty has done, like many of us have done, and we get more the next time, then that is more information that we have to help us understand what we're seeing and why we're seeing it. Okay, so my point is, Jose, can you show us another picture where you have more of that tower? He doesn't. Well, what about
That would probably become his control. Whatever the most obstruction, or I'm sorry, whatever the least amount of obstruction is.
Yeah, the clearest. That's that's what I was saying.
But it's
I'll
not.
probably work. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna say, it's not necessarily the clearest. Okay, I mean, I don't know what to say. There's just
No, that's what I meant. Let me back you up, Travis. That's what I meant is that on clear days, the obstruction is just further away. That's still what we're looking for. We're not focusing in on the flat water or whatever before the obstruction. So on clear days, the obstruction is way further away. So it's going to be blurrier because it's further away. Even though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see farther. It almost looks to me like in some pictures there's proximal looming or foreground looming, and it looks like the water's ramping up and blocking the background, like unnaturally ramping up, not like perspective.
That's why it's important, though.
But those
It's
ones have
important
a more defined edge. But if you look closely at the top of the water, it's always like cut, like there's little jagged edges pointing up and little pieces that are
Yeah, I
not
agree.
attached. And it might look
That-
clear a little bit, but you can tell that's how can you call that reality? I guess is my point.
That's why it's important to go to the same spot, looking at something the same distance. Travis stresses that, and it's very, very true. I can't stress it enough. We got to go to the same spot to get the same object. Okay, that's the only way to distinguish. I'm with you. I agree with everything y'all said.
Do we have to do it anymore? I mean, when are they going to provide evidence? That's what I've been thinking about for days. The world is 71% water, supposedly, based on their mathematics. 71% is covered by water. We've never seen water bend. It can't be a ball if water is flat.
Bro,
Yeah, the observational shit.
The observations were only that they couldn't declare refraction, because if you can have observations that say definitively that can't happen on a ball because it's too far, and if they didn't say, well, refraction, then you could be like, look, the observation proves it, but then they'll just say refraction, and then there you go.
Yeah, but refraction, what type of refraction? Because if they're using the 7/6 of R,
the
observational
shit is all right. The observational shit is over with. That ain't gonna do anything either way, no matter how far we see. Rumpus said you could see your own ass in a telescope if the refraction's right.
Exactly.
So
what's the refraction limit?
It's infinity. You can see your own ass in a telescope. There's no amount of mileage in between you and the object to where they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, it is flat." They're gonna just say refraction.
There's one couple issues with,
you gotta hold. No, hang on. Patient zero. You gotta hold their toes to the fire on the refraction, because if they're gonna claim refraction, you gotta ask them what kind of refraction, and then if they say it's 7/6 R, you gotta find out where they got the R from.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we already have. Okay,
but Travis, real quick, when you look at Jose's blue and white, just real quick, it's freaking huge, right? And he's zoomed in, and it takes up most of the goddamn picture now. And go to Soundley's Bridge, and you see that water tower in the background. It's freaking huge. And think about it, it's 26 miles away, and you can actually see this big old freaking water tower. So magnification absolutely is a factor of those observations, but you can't bring it up to them. You can't say, is that so? If I were to actually go to that water tower, Jose's or Soundley's, they would just be like this gigantic, like abnormal size water towers or lighthouses, whichever one it is, right? Just abnormal size.
We've got some new panel members. Oh, I thought you were done, Aaron. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, I'm done. No, I'm done.
Okay.
My little 1-year-old grandson just go ahead.
Yeah, let me do my channel stuff. You were waiting there, were you, Brian? We've got Dick. What's going on, Brian? You there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good actually.
Yeah, thanks. I just came in for a moment. Just going to debunk Jose's tower video. I know exactly what's happening there. I'm sure he knows it himself, or if he wanted to know, he could find out. I have a video there to show. Only a very small demonstration to take less than a minute, if you want to see it.
Oh, please, yeah. You're going to share it in Discord?
Yeah, I'll share a screen there if you don't mind, okay?
Yep, let me stop sharing. Go ahead. Okay. While you're getting it ready, just let me say hello to Rob Keene. I don't think I introduced you yet, did I, Rob? How you doing? Oh, now he's on mute. Oh, there he is.
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm just at work, so I'll be a man a few words today.
All right, cool, man. And Ryan Etherton, how you doing? Eartherton, not Etherton, Eartherton.
Got my Eartherton. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. Nice to have you guys on. Okay, Brian, let me know when you are ready, and I'll share.
Yeah, I'm ready to go down.
You ready? Let me get it up on screen for these guys. All right, you're good.
Okay, this is called visual occultation. I had it it was part of a presentation I did on Ranty's here about 1.5 years ago. This is what's happening to Jose. If there's an object at the same height as you, or slightly higher even, doesn't have to be. It can be even slightly lower. But if it's around the same height as your optical height, let's say the height of your camera or the height of your eyes, your eyesight, and it will block out a huge amount of a much larger object behind it. So this is what visual occultation is. I'm just going to press play on this. Watch. That's what happens. So the same exact thing is happening with Jose with his tower video. There's like a wall and a fence thing in his eye line, and that is blocking his view to that. I'm just going to show here, just go back to 21, where are we, 21, 55. Now, watch, I'll do it again now, 1 second. That's what's happening. That's all that's ever been happening. He either knows this and is fully aware of it, or he could find out if he wanted to. It's no big deal. It's the very reason why in the Mount San Jacinto observation from J Tolan Media, it's the very reason why he can't see all of the mountain, because Los Angeles is 100 foot higher than his position. He's 150 foot. Los Angeles is 250 foot. So he's visually occultated. That's the reason. And that's what's going on with Jose's thing. And I just want to state so people know, I asked Jose in an email to send me the videos that he made of the floor that he supposedly hid things from and then didn't hide things from. I asked him to send me all that information, and he never sent me any of it. He just came in here looking forward to be relevant. He's not relevant.
All right, cool, Brian. Yeah, that makes sense, because there's a quite a bit of land.
I haven't been on Jose's show in probably a month and a half now. I held to my boycott.
All right. Let me see. Travis had something. Bring that up now, Travis. Are you around?
I sent it to you if you wanted. I just thought if you wanted to pull it up and just look at it, because I sent you the photo.
In Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not coming through too good on here, but let me see if I can make it bigger.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know how good it would share.
All right. It shouldn't be too bad. I've got it on full screen. Okay. I'll share with Discord here so you guys can see it. Okay. All right. You guys, everyone should be able to see it now. So what are we looking at here?
This house is about 3 miles away, and it's one of my observations that I take regularly on the Chesapeake Bay. So I'll just read what I put in here on the text. Each of these photos is taken from the exact same elevation and distance. The only thing that changes is the medium. The apparent horizon, that's where the water ends, right? Where the water ends, or I'm sorry, where the water apparently ends. We can see the water from the bottom of the photo going all the way up, and then there's a line where the water ends. The apparent horizon, let's see, the apparent horizon is only, I don't know what, is that not clear? The apparent horizon is only that as one can clearly see the shoreline. That's a horrible sentence. Somebody ought to shoot me. Okay.
No, I think you're talking about the medium, aren't you, Travis? The only thing that changes is the medium.
Yeah, but that sentence. Somebody else read that sentence out loud.
The apparent horizon is only that as one can clearly see the shoreline on the right panel.
There you go. Thank you. The emphasis. Yeah, good. The apparent horizon is only is only that. It's only apparent as one can clearly see the shoreline in the right panel. Okay, so yeah. So in the right panel, well, I'll just keep reading. In the left panel, the water is apparently lifted up so that the appearance is given that the viewer is lower and closer to the water, while the right panel gives the appearance that the viewer is farther away and higher up. The water also has a different texture to it due to the condition of the medium. The aether band, everybody drink, is the medium through which, okay, blah, blah, blah. So in the panel on the right, we can clearly see all the way down to the shoreline. And that's where the water ends. But the water visually ends in the left much closer.
Wow, that is really a difference there. Look at, I mean, it's clear as day that you're seeing across that shoreline in the picture on the right.
Yeah.
You see this happen in the Chesapeake. day daily too. I mean, not daily, but every day it's something different.
Yeah, yeah.
How far is it again?
Huh?
How far is it again? Sorry.
3 miles.
Cool.
Yeah. And then you can clearly see the channel marker in both of them. And they're both in different positions, but the channel marker is buoyed in the same spot for sailboats. So that thing's not going to move. It's going to have a little bit of movement to it because it's just tethered, and so it can float and bob and weave with the currents, but it's not going to change its location because that if you the sailboats run aground, they're going to be in trouble. So that thing's not going to move.
Wow.
You know, I like your term, the ether band and stuff. But again, when you look at this property of fluids to have vapor come off the surface and exert a force called vapor pressure, I think the differences we see it's not only light and the bending of the rays and stuff, but this transition. Sometimes there's less vapor pressure coming off the water because of the conditions are ideal for less.
Yeah,
Other
sure.
be more, and it's the same thing as ether band, but explained by the water concentration at the time and its motion and movement, right?
Well, not only that, but look at how high the boat is, or how high the house is on the left.
Oh yeah, it's stretched way up, doubled in
Okay,
size.
so if
Or it
you
looks
if you
doubled.
yeah, if you cut out that image on the right and did an overlay, nothing would match up on the house. Nothing to scale.
Well, there's a magnification that happens
Yep.
through the atmosphere at a distance too. Like Chicago, the buildings for I forget his name there, but they were magnified when he was at a certain distance away, looking larger
Right, but see,
than they
that's
actually physically are in the world.
right. And so I think part of my experience helped me understand that that's what was happening with Jose's tower. To disagree with a little bit with Brian's logic is that the magnification of the house in the background, the house is brought closer and lifted up, and if there was something in front of it, that would if there was land in front of it or whatever, all of that stuff, it's a 3D image, right? The entire field of view is affected by the medium through which you're looking. So the water that Jose was looking at is being ramped up. The land in front of the tower, but behind the water, is being affected in a way. And then the tower behind is also possibly being brought closer to the observer through magnification. And all of that stuff together creates an apparent location. And because if I showed you the right, okay, I was thinking about this. What if, I don't know, I'm just going to talk off the top of my head, you guys can read me later. What if I had a theodolite and I matched up the theodolite crosshairs with the top of the house in the left image, and I left my theodolite there overnight, went out the next day and got the image on the right? Would the crosshairs match up with the top of the house?
Of course not.
No,
At the
no.
bottom, it might at the bottom.
The crosshairs would stay the same. The objects in the distance would move up and down.
Correct.
Like
Makes you wonder about
Scott Bay.
Lidar then.
Lidar is so flat, the results, they got the British coast, the Isles, everywhere, 1,200 miles of the northern areas of Canada. It's flat, it's flat, it's flat. It's not recording a curve and then they're flattening out for us and stuff to fit on a photo. No bullshit like that. Lidar is so accurate for topography and elevations, and when it's showing a coastline as flat for hundreds of miles, it's flat.
So in your two panels there, is your magnification the exact same on your camera?
Yeah, the focal length is the same. Yes.
Okay. That's crazy then. That's a pretty big difference in the buoy.
Yeah.
Apparent.
Well, the
height.
Globers will still deny magnification, atmospheric magnification to
Yeah,
this
they
day.
will.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
He said it was crazy. It's actually not. It's an effect that we see all the time.
Yeah.
They deny things selectively, then bring them back when they need them.
I heard a voice in the
Like,
background. Who was that? Carlos? Did you say something?
I said there's distortion, no magnification.
Your mic's a little low. Yeah, I just wanted to stop and tell you that. But hey, welcome to the show. Let me just say, Rakia Life, welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey man, how y'all doing?
Good tonight. Let's see. Tony V joined us. What's up, Tony?
What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Good, man.
I just want to shout out to all my homies, all the small people that got me to this place where I am right now, live.
All right.
And I got a new word for map. It's oh my god, ether muffle.
Ether muffle.
Ether muffle equidistant maps. I don't know. Play with the words. Put them upside down, backwards. You might be able to come up with a good word there.
We'll figure that
Flip
out.
the W. We'll flip the W.
Flip the W. Put the umlauts in.
Let me do some shout outs here. B-Ball for life, $5. He's got a video he wants us to watch. We will once we're done talking about this.
Shout out retracted.
And let me say, if you haven't thumbs up the video, please give it a thumbs up. I see we're at 37 likes right now. We're on a quest to get to 100 one of these days, and I think you guys can help us get us there. So just take 1 second and please thumbs up. I will link my channel shortly. And go ahead. Continue talking.
Yeah, there were 14 thumbs down. Hey, there were 14 thumbs down before the show even started. What's up?
27. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we start off in debt, and then we have to work our way out the whole show.
No, that's just people in the southern hemisphere, with their thumbs up.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's all about
Looks like
mindset.
it's,
I got a question about your panels here again. Just a quick question. Trying to be objective. How do you think it is that you have more in your frame on the right than on the left, like more landscape, as far as distance from the buoy to the edge of the frame? How is it that you have more on the right frame if they were both taken at the same setting of zoom?
Yeah, I have numerous demonstrations of this on my channel in all of these locations on the Chesapeake Bay, but it's going to be a magnification of the observation through the medium. So the reason why we see less in the left is because the field of view is being magnified. The reason why we're seeing more in the right is because that magnification is not as prevalent.
I can confirm that.
I could see somebody not understanding that and just arguing nonstop that your zoom is different.
I know. Trust me.
It's because they don't go do long distance observations. That's why.
Yeah. I have had numerous interactions with ballers where they'll say the same thing. You are lying. You're not in the same location. Your camera's not in the same elevation. It's not. You are giving us false data, and it just blows my mind that they.
But regardless of that, there's an obvious atmospheric effect going on, and we can tell which one looks like a more normal picture than the other. So I don't see why they would.
Right.
Because what they do is
And this happens all the time.
They make the normal one the curved one. They're like, oh, okay, now we can see the house. Okay, yeah, that's how it should be.
I think it has to do with the mirrored water layer.
Oh,
Tony, you're on a short bus ride. You're real short here.
I'm sorry, man. I had to.
It almost looks like the picture on the left. It almost looks like it's compressed a little bit, it almost looks a little bit more two-dimensional too. Like if you look at the left portion of that structure there, on the left frame, it looks like it's a shorter, like it's chubbier, and on the right panel, the left portion of that building looks longer. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, it looks stretched. That's what it.
Yeah.
It looks distorted on the y-axis.
If this magnification was happening on a regular basis, wouldn't just looking at it the horizon, wouldn't things be moving at you and back away from you and wobbling and in and out?
No. Okay. Look. Watch. So if you, what was one of the recent videos I put up, Howard? Shows a horizon drop of this actual same. Isn't it this location? It is this location. Yeah. So if you go to my channel, Howard, within the past 2 or 3 videos, you will see a 27-minute video compressed, or not compressed, but sped up 3 times. Okay, so it's sped up, and you see this thing drop before your eyes. It drops crazy. So
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
hold on. So you don't see that in real time because it's so slow.
I'm sharing it right now, by the way.
Okay, so when you look out and you see the house at the location that it is, and then you walk away for 10 minutes and it has dropped, and then you go back and look with your naked eye, you're not going to know it dropped. You're just looking at the house. But
Somebody's arguing about naked eye, though.
I'm just talking about the zooming part, the part of it moving
right.
closer.
Yeah. No. I get that. And what's interesting about that is I can't recall having video captures of that effect. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It just means I haven't captured it.
Oh my god, I thought it just got engulfed by a friggin' wave.
Yeah, you see that right on the top of the water there?
Hold on, just real quick.
Anybody
What's interesting about this video shot right now? What's interesting about this video shot right now is that the buoy is not visible. And I'm going to say that, and what I can do is probably go back into my files and look at other videos that I have of this day. And I would say that the buoy is there in front of us behind the mirage.
I agree with that.
Can I ask you to do something maybe? Next time, or maybe for a week, you don't have to do this, but I'm just wondering what it would look like. Put the buoy on the very left of the picture, and then see how it moves, how the house moves from that. Always keep it on like the left, like bottom right left corner.
Yeah.
And see where it adjusts from there.
I have another observation that has an immovable marker that I use, and I've got tons of video of that. That might be something that I can look at.
Cool.
Hey, there's a part of this where there's like this effect where there's like a blue thing going across the mirage layer. Was there a boat back there or something? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I caught that. It looked like a little aberration right there. Yeah.
Yeah, let
it's
me
a boat.
back it up
I think
and
it's
see
an
if I
nymph.
can catch it again. There it
It's a
is.
water nymph. Oh, that's a peacock.
It does
And if you
look like a
stop it,
bird.
right, if you
That's a
stop
boat
it,
right in the layer.
right.
Jet
If you
ski.
stop it in front of the house, and then go back to the image where you have a clear shot of the house, that would require that boat would be up as high as the base of the house on the land, if you understand.
That's how you can tell where the water actually is.
Right.
So it's really a hydrofoil then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what I was talking about earlier with the like water at the water line kind of being choppy and pieces of it above the actual water. You can see that in this video really clearly here.
Yeah, where it like
And
breaks
that
off.
tree looks like it's in front of the house.
Yeah, that's good footage, Travis. There's another one.
Thanks.
See it over here? Over in the right bottom corner. There's another one of these apparitions, whatever you want to call them, mirages.
It's a jet ski. Looks like a jet ski bird. There's a ski-doo.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Go back to where. Just go back real quick, Brandon, to where that the apparition is on the left, and that other speedboat goes right by.
The first apparition?
No, toward the end, I think.
All I know
Right
is that
here.
house is badass. I like it.
No. Go all the way toward the end. Well, I guess keep going all the way to the end.
God, look at that aberration.
Or is it going to happen right now? How soon is that other boat going to come across? There it is. Okay, so watch real quick. Once it goes to the left of the house, another boat's going to come across and stop it right when it gets to the apparent horizon. Right there. Can you back up a snip?
All right. I'll stop it right when it gets to that. Right there.
Right there. Okay, so that boat that's closest to us is level with the boat that's in the distance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is all mirage right here.
Right? What's creating that? What's creating the apparent end of the water? It's not curved. That's not the Earth curve.
LSD.
All right. Anything else on this images or the footage from Travis? Good stuff, man.
Thanks.
Yep.
I just feel like the only criticism you're going to get from the other side is they're going to say, obviously we experience atmospheric conditions, and why would you even try to calculate Earth curve from 3 mile distance? And then obviously your point would be that that's not the point, but
I am the other side. I'm right here, and I didn't say that.
Well, what is your opinion on that,
I
Tony?
wouldn't say that.
Tony, do you agree with the Tony, do you agree with the atmospheric magnification that's happening? That's
I'd
the
be
question
honest,
to
I'm
ask.
really not. I've watched this part, but it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's boring because you put a lot of time into it, but I just don't. This doesn't interest me. But I'm not disrespecting anyone. It's just I like other aspects of the argument.
Yeah.
So,
No
I
worries.
apologize.
No.
So I really don't.
No
I
offense
really
taken.
can't say left or right. I mean, it's good work. I mean, going out there, taking the time and everything, I can respect that.
The only thing that I would say, if someone did say, what use is this observation? It's only 2 to 3 miles away. Is that you're going to have the same phenomenon 20 miles away. So what you have to understand is that if the curvature of the Earth isn't the cause of the end of the water in this image, but it's due to refraction, it's due to mirage, that when you see this same phenomenon farther away, it's not Earth curve then either. It's always...
Yeah, wouldn't the distance just make the effect even worse?
It depends. It can. Yeah, it depends. It can make it worse in terms of more extreme. That is, you have a larger band of mirage, or you can even have a tighter band of mirage. Yeah.
All right, we've got
to be a good word for that. Tight mirage.
Let me open up B-Ball's video. He's got a video here. Will we ever see this beach? Let me see if I can open this in a window. I don't know what's going on with my family in the other room, but I hear a lot of commotion. That didn't work. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that.
Well, quick question while you're doing that. Has anybody seen or done a modern day heliograph long distance over water type test?
What's a heliograph?
What's a heliograph?
It's basically a mirror system set up to communicate long distance over water using mirror flashes, line of sight. The Navy used to use it to do like binary and stuff like that.
Like Morse code.
I've done it at 5 miles.
There's been recorded up to well over 100 miles. I think it was like 170 or 83 miles or something like that. But regardless,
I bet they were
similar.
High in the air though, high in the sky.
Well, I assume since it was Navy that it had something to do with being on the water.
Yeah, that's a good assumption.
They used to use mirrors back in the day along the Mexican border, like during the Pancho Villa campaign or some crap. I read a whole paper on it. I'll have to dig that up, and they were communicating really long distances as well. I don't think it was 100 miles, but
isn't that how they lit the pyramids with mirrors?
I don't know.
Reflection.
I guess a good question is, are they going to argue refraction with if there's a heliograph that's conducted, say 50 miles?
Oh yeah, sure.
Are they going to say that line of sight refracted over 50 miles?
According to these guys, you
Since
can
I
see
know
your
them,
own
yes,
ass
I guarantee
in a
you.
in a telescope. So yes, they're gonna say refraction. No matter what we see.
Yep.
All right, I'm playing a video. You guys probably won't be able to hear it on Discord, I don't think. But maybe the sound doesn't matter. I'm going to put the sound on anyway. And this is from B-Ball for Life. He wanted us to watch this and get our feedback on it, so why not?
Real quick, all perspective drawings use straight lines.
That is an excellent point. Yeah, let's talk about that in a minute. That's a good point.
The sun was standing.
Why don't you stop this bullshit?
Poor CC.
Is there any way to share that? Because it's just as a little panel.
I'll try and play it on my mic.
No, you've had it all morning, and I'm just freezing, and I'm hungry, and
I got it up.
All right. Yeah, sorry. I can't figure out how to get the sound to go through while I'm on OBS.
See, the Earth is a sphere.
Oh, that's what B-ball looks like? That's not a 12-year-old kid. I had a completely different image in my head.
It's been like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Touche.
Earth is round. Like, you gotta be an idiot, a moron, a waste of a time of a person to think.
But how are we going to know what he's
Earth is flat.
consider?
Come on.
We can't hear it.
We have things to do. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just give me like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Well, this isn't working very well, is it?
I'm starving. I'm about to die. Come on. We got other shit to do.
He's got a basketball Earth.
Well, is there a part of this B-ball that you wanted us to look at where there's an observation? The sound's not coming through.
Shout out to my lovely wife for finally agreeing to do that little clip. I love you, babe. And yes, I totally agree with you. Anyway, today I wanted to go back.
All right, I'm going to skip
Got a
through and try to
question.
figure out what he wants us to look at here. Here we go. This must be it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I've seen these before. So if you guys can see them on Discord, I'm not playing the sound anymore. But I think this is what B-Ball wanted us to look at. Maybe we can talk about what we think's going on here. Not that we haven't before, but...
One thing that I've made comments on his videos is that it seems that he has a consistent gradient where we don't ever see the shoreline. So if he's going to have a consistent climate where he's at in Hawaii, it might not ever change, and so we might not ever see farther than we can in these images. But again, B-Ball still hasn't been able to tell us where that water line is. We're looking at right now, how far away that water is. He doesn't know.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who did a fantastic analysis of this was Ranty. For quite a while. Those guys went back and forth 3 or 4 days. So if you go back, I don't know, maybe a month ago, you'll find his analysis of this. But I mean, this right here looks like straight up wave, right? So how much of this is wave? How much is it foreground obstruction? How much is refraction? How much is whatever proximal looming? How do we know?
We know 0 of it is Earth curve. I've explained this to him already. It's not the. You're not seeing the geometry of Earth when you're looking at the horizon. Like, these people aren't getting it. Their own people are saying this. It's not the geometry of Earth. So why? It's not Earth curve. Who cares? You know. They're trying to still say it's Earth curve, even though they say we don't see the geometry of Earth. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's swells and whatever else in here.
But I mean, can I say something? I mean, just everyone talks about common sense and stuff. I mean, really, if you were just to pop up and look out and you see a horizon, the first thing I'm thinking of is there's got to be a bulge. There's got to be something to make the horizon. There's got to be an apex to that curve. That's the only way you can make a horizon in my head. And then you get the refraction and the looming and the triple ding this and that, you know, then maybe you might be able to talk it away, but initially I'm going to think it's a curve. That's just me, though. I'm stupid.
Wouldn't an incline create a horizon? Like if you were looking at a slowly wouldn't that create a...
It would only make a horizon if it ended at one point. Well, it'd have to end, otherwise it would just keep going.
No, well, picture it's like a mountain, right? And then the other side drops off. Like if it was far and then had a drop off, you wouldn't be able to see past the drop off, but it doesn't have to be a curve. It could be an incline.
Well, an incline into a drop off is a curve, I think, isn't it? If there's an apex to a line, that's a curve, I thought.
Okay, so how about this? If you had an infinite plane with a sky, what would happen?
In my head, I would think that it would just blur out, and you could zoom in on things accordingly until the air got too dirty and you couldn't go through it. But you'd be able to cut through some of it for a little bit.
No, I mean, would it create a horizon? Like, wouldn't you just
Welcome to Flat Earth.
It would be like a haze. It'd be like the horizon would be like
Okay.
a band. It would be a band of haze.
There's,
There you go.
There's a really good way to test that. Go play Minecraft and make a super flat world. Okay, it's only there is no differentiation in elevation or anything. Okay, and what you'll see is that it doesn't matter how far it go, like it can go on forever. At some point, the sky will look like it's touching the ground, and this is on a computer generated flat plane. Okay, because that's how perspective works. And you could pretty sure you can put an object on there and back up as far as you want. And at some point, the computer will stop registering it as the object that you know that it is, and will eventually represent it as basically, a pixel or a little group of pixels that you can't actually discern. Because that's what happens with our eyes. Okay, that's how things work whenever we back away from them.
Okay, but what if you stand still and you sit there on your Minecraft plane, and I don't know if you can zoom in on there or not, but then you zoom in, you're going to see stuff that you couldn't see, hopefully. Otherwise, it's a flawed.
Yeah, but you can't see forever.
Could I say something on this Be Bald for Life thing, if you don't mind?
Okay. Oh, sorry, man. Go for it.
Yeah. All that's happening here is tsunami wave shoaling. Either the tide is going in or coming out, and this then is causing the very effect that I showed earlier, which is visual occultation. That's all that's happening there. So it's tsunami wave shoaling due to the topography of the land around there. Ranty detailed this 100,000 times, and then this causes visual occultation. That's all that's happening there. If you want to make sure that, you can check out the details of any of Be Bald for Life's videos, and you will check out all the dates, everything else, and you will find that is the truth.
So the waves never come ashore?
Yeah, so you're saying you could tell when tide is coming in just by looking out at the sea?
The tsunami wave shoaling, what it does is it causes a swell of water. It causes the water to swell. It's because of the sharp drop-off of the topography underneath the water in places like Hawaii, which is where Be Bald for Life is.
And it raises enough to cause obstruction?
Yeah.
You only see it swell when it gets closer to land, and when it starts hitting shallower areas.
Do you understand that zooming in doesn't bring more things into your field of view? That's not how zooming in works.
It depends on if you're zooming in on an object or if you're zooming in just on an area. If you're zooming in on an area, it will.
No, okay, so whenever you zoom in, it's not causing things that you couldn't see before to become seeable. It's causing things that you could not translate or properly interpret, and makes them interpretable. Those things were there the whole time. It didn't bring new things into your vision. It just clarified the things that were already there in your vision. And it's the same thing with like telescopes. When you look up in the sky with a telescope, it's not putting something new into your vision. That thing was there to begin with. You can zoom in on it and make it seem bigger, and it might clarify some details, but those details were already there. It doesn't make new things appear in your vision.
Well, I think another good point is you can't get rid of all the atmospheric effects between you and the object you're looking at in the distance with any lens, filter, just like you can't get rid of. It'd be like saying if you wear sunglasses, then refraction isn't affected. Refraction happens away from you. It's not a local thing that happens in your eyes or right in front of you, right? But this just straight up does look like waves. I think Randy made a really good argument for that about a month ago. I'll see if I can dig that up and post it, but made sense to me.
But over water, like it all looks like this big wave. I mean, because it gets, you can see it, it's clear, and then bam, and it's not clear anymore. And then all of a sudden the sky's there. I mean, it all looks like a swell.
You think every long distance observation across water looks like a swell, though?
When it's close to the water, when it's taken like within like 10 feet of the surface of the water. I might be wrong though. I don't know, but I think I don't remember seeing any that don't.
I've seen lots of clear ones. Travis showed us clear ones. Ranty showed us clear ones where the opposing shore isn't obstructed. That's not something that happens all the time.
Shore, okay. Okay, yeah. Well, if there's a, well,
Depends
on how close you are to the surface, I guess. Yeah.
Is the camera level?
What, Aaron?
Is the camera level? You know, are we shooting out, you know, what they would say a tangent?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So I was asking the operator, whoever, if B-Ball's here, whoever's sticking up for B-Ball.
He's in the chat, but that's okay.
Of course he's in the chat. He ain't actually here, though, defend him own self.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't come on, B-Ball. Give us the whole story. Tell us why this doesn't have anything to do with any of the other effects. We'll give you the time to explain.
He goes on Jose's and shit.
It just kind of looks like it'd be pretty easy to just raise the camera a little bit to show that the water's not raising, the waves aren't as high as they should look in real life, you know? And so if you go center of frame on that photo right there, if the camera's level, he's shooting a tangent to the building like halfway up. You kidding me? Or wherever it is. See, now, if he had more shots of the water a little bit closer to us, right? And maybe more tangent. Or level, sorry. Horizontal.
Straightly flat level.
It would totally look like a big wave. Exactly.
Fat, huge wave.
All this footage, as far as I'm concerned, has already been debunked by Ranty, but I don't mind showing it.
Sounds like a wave of change.
All right. Anyway, B-Ball sent another super chat. Can you play the whole video, please? I mean, I think I played almost all of it. I didn't play the beginning. I linked it in the chat. Everybody's got the link to the video, so you can go watch it on your own. Discord can't hear it. I think I played it enough. I played it for like 10 minutes, B-Ball.
Or B-Ball can show up and have the floor for a bit, right?
Yeah, he can come in here and explain, you know, what's going on with these videos if he wants. Sure. Why don't you stop in? Are you busy tonight, or what's going on? Somebody using your account so you can't talk in voice, or what's going on, B-Ball?
He's in a hula contest. Nothing on the roof, right?
Well, that's a legitimate excuse. So anyway, what else you guys got? Let's move on from this. I think we played enough of that. Thanks for the super chat, though, B-Ball.
Earlier in Gems, I had their toes right to the fire on the scientific method. Patience started to mention the scientific method earlier, which made me think of that. And you know, they say science can't prove anything, but the method that QE promotes, the scientific method, the very strict, stringent one, that does prove things. So if anyone wants to DM me a time where they stuck to that method and they did the experiment over and over again and found out later down the road that it turned out not to be true, send me that. All I need is the natural observed phenomena, the hypothesis, and the experiment. That's all. 3 sentences.
Okay, I got that debunked right now. They say that heat is the cause of water boiling, and it's not. It's motion. Okay, debunked. Done.
It's pressure.
Right.
I got a question from the globe side to the flat earther.
It's actually energy, isn't it?
No, and term, right? So in the water, without motion, there will be no change in the water. Okay, so if you don't move, there's no change. No change, no boiling. The cause of water boiling is motion. When you say heat, you talk vagaries. What is heat? There's no
What
there.
causes? Sorry. What causes
So
the
that-
motion?
motion is transferred. So when you have water sitting still and then you have fire under it, that fire is moving, transferring the motion to the water.
So the heat is. So the heat from the fire is causing the water to move.
Yeah, it's the heat, dickhead. Let's not play your bullshit fucking game.
All right, slow down, guys. Let's just have a conversation. Slow down. If you, Jeremy and right the hand, you guys have a habit of just talking over each other and yelling over each other. We can't hear what you're saying, first of all, and it'd be nice for you guys to have a one-on-one exchange. So let's give them a couple minutes to talk through this, but just please try to keep it cordial.
All right. Let me get my point in real quick. Right at the end. So water will boil. That observation we see of boiling water, whatever the fuck that is, right? Does it with motion, which could be heat, pressure, whatever it is, but it also do it with the lack of heat and pressure in a vacuum.
But that's still motion. Because so what happens is in the vacuum, if you realize that water and air are connected, you can't have a liquid without a surrounding layer of evaporated gas around it. That's impossible. They're connected. Okay, so when you start pulling the vacuum, you're pulling the gas which is attached to the water, and the motion is transferred. Motion is the cause, not heat.
Gotcha.
It's a vague term to describe motion.
Exactly. The motion describes both scenarios. Exactly.
No, motion describes what happens after something is affected by something else.
Heat. What is heat? When you say heat, you're going to talk about the motion of the little particles. So you cut the middleman. Let's cut the middleman. Just say it's motion.
Yeah, but motion would be it if I was not wanting to find out what was really causing it. If I just wanted to look at it, preliminary gaze, and then stop, I'd say motion.
No.
Maybe.
That is the actual cause. You cannot go any deeper than the thing that is actually causing what is happening. And you know what? What actually causes water to boil is not heat, because a vacuum will make water boil, and there's no heat. Okay, so there has to be something. Hold on.
You have to put energy in.
Bro, every time you open the mic, like it what's it called? IAQ. So here, when you say energy, energy is a vague conceptual term to describe motion. Okay, when you don't put energy into the car, you put gas, and that gas, which was shoved in there, is then moved, motion, exploded, motion, moves the crank, motion, wheels, motion, turns the car. There is no energy. I can describe every scenario perfectly with just motion, and you bring up this conceptual vague term. I can show you motion. You can't show me energy.
Yeah, you can. It's the bonds breaking. That's really it. The bonds breaking.
What is energy?
What's causing the bonds to break? Motion's causing the bonds to break?
What bonds are you talking about?
First of all, hear me?
H2O.
Okay, so
Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
B-ball.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
What's going on, B-ball?
Hey, I'm just here. I'm driving right now. I just wanted to, could you please play the entire video with the audio as well?
It's not coming through the audio. I tried to play it from the start, unfortunately. So I did link it in the chat. Everybody has a link to it now. So if they want to watch the whole thing, they can. It looked like you had a funny beginning, so I apologize for that, but it wasn't coming through very well.
Are you censoring Brandon?
I mean, no, if I was censoring, I would have ignored it.
I'm joking, man.
I don't mind playing the video. But...
I'm pretty sure, like, if you're playing a flat Earth video, you'll play the entire thing.
I know.
So
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're trying to like not play it, but I don't know.
Your video is.
What I say, what I say is pretty relevant as well. What I'm saying in the video.
Well, you're here in person. Why don't you tell us what you say?
Well, Travis is talking about going out on multiple days, which is what I'm talking about in the video.
And tell us about what you did. Tell us about the observations, please. Just kind of describe what you did for us. Maybe that'll work.
I went out on multiple days, and I got the same obstruction, multiple days.
B-ball. Did the topography underneath the water change on any of those
Okay,
days?
so okay, Brian. So what you're saying is the water's not flat and level then, right? There's a hump of water.
Yeah, the topography underneath the water causes. It's not me saying it. It's a real thing.
So that
It's
means
happening. It's in your video. It's called tsunami shoaling.
Wait, so water does bend?
I can't. I missed that last part. Sorry.
Hold on, I can't. Hold on, 1 second.
I think Tony V said, so wait, water does bend?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Sorry. Yeah. So that would be in water bends then, because if there's a hump underneath the water, and you're saying that that's what's causing the hump on top of the water. Unless I'm
You're mixing up, but you're mixing up water sticking to a rotating sphere and hydrogen bonds.
And you're talking about
covalent bonds. You're mixing that up.
You're talking about tsunami shoaling. When's the last time Hawaii had a tsunami?
It's called tsunami wave shoaling. It doesn't. It's called tsunami wave shoaling.
It doesn't happen every single day.
I'll tell you
But
something.
the topography underneath the water. Hang on.
One at a time, guys.
Underneath the water. The topography underneath the water doesn't change. So you'll go out there and you'll see the same thing happening every day. Like your videos are not all exactly the same either. So if you look at all your videos, they don't look the same every day. But
you know,
there's one same thing happening, and that is this well up of water.
Yeah, what's consistent in the video is the obstruction.
But what are you claiming this obstruction to be?
What am I claiming that obstruction to be? It's the curvature of the Earth. It's plain and simple.
And how have you verified this? How did you verify it's not?
Because it's blocking 300 feet of the building.
So how did you verify it's not tsunami wave shoaling?
If you look at the beginning of the building.
Yeah, but looking's not enough. How did you verify?
If you look at the beginning of the building, Brian, can I say something, please, before you cut me off?
I'd like to.
If you look at the beginning of the building, if you look at the beginning of the video, you can see the island and the marina that's blocked by the water.
Yeah, that's called visual occultation. I showed that earlier there. I showed it earlier. I showed a visual. I showed an actual demonstration of it.
So you're telling me, hold on. So you're telling me that there's 100 and something foot hump of water in front of that building? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's angular size change and visual occultation. That's what causes that. I showed visual occultation earlier. It's not my fault. Like I did show this earlier. Did I not, Brandon? Did I show visual occultation earlier?
You did show that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I showed that very thing earlier.
Yeah, you showed a can with a camera really close to it. Yeah, that's yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're very close to the. You're very close to the wall of water.
No, I'm actually not very close. Those buildings are 15 miles away.
The buildings are what, 15 miles away? Is it?
Yes, the buildings are 15 miles away.
And how far away is this wall of water?
He doesn't
know. You seem to know. You seem to know.
No, I'm asking you. Your video, your claim. I'm asking you. How far away is the water?
Well, I'm off at. If I'm at 8 feet, how far do you think the horizon is at 8 feet?
I don't think anything. I'm asking you. It's your claim. It's your video. I'm asking you. You should have these details.
Well, I would say roughly about 3 miles away, give or take.
So the water, the well up of water that's happening, right? Due to tsunami wave shoaling. It's 3 or 4 miles away, and it's blocking the bottom of buildings. It's 50 miles away. What's the problem there?
The water is taller than me?
Well, the water is blocking your view. I don't know. The water is blocking your view. That's all I know.
I can prove it right now.
Have you
ever researched tsunami wave shoaling?
I can tell you why I know it's not a tsunami, because anyone who's lived in Hawaii.
It's not tsunami. I didn't say it's actually a tsunami. 1 second. I didn't say. I said it's called tsunami wave shoaling.
Okay, that's cool. So, it's tsunami. It means it's a big rolling amount of water, right? So big that you could actually see.
It happens due to the topography underneath the water. Yeah, at that place. It happens in Australia too.
Okay, because I was going to say they have these big horns that blow every day at 12 o'clock for tsunami warnings. That's how they test them. And the whole island has a place to go up to. So if there's a tsunami, they're going to know. The whole island's going to be like a big horn.
Yeah, but there's tsunamis like like we had in 2004 in Asia, and then there's tsunami wave shoaling. Tsunami wave shoaling is when you see exactly what B-ball is showing, but it's not a danger to people. That is not a danger. That's not like what happened in 2004. That's a common occurrence.
There was a tsunami in Alaska yesterday.
Hold on 1 second. So this tsunami wave, this happens everywhere around the earth, right?
No, it only happens in certain places like Hawaii, where you have a deep drop.
So it only happens here.
Hang on, if you ask me a question, so either leave me answer or don't ask me.
Yeah, we got plenty of time, guys.
Places like Hawaii, it happens in places like Hawaii and Australia, where there's a sharp drop off of the land, not far away from the shoreline. It doesn't happen in Ireland because we don't have that big deep drop off, so we don't have that here.
All it is like water
So
going
when you
against
see
sand.
buildings, cut off in Ireland, it's because of something different, right?
I don't see that happening in Ireland.
Is Hawaii known for large waves? I mean, isn't that kind of a
yeah, but
trademark
we have large waves in Ireland too, but we still don't have the tsunami wave shoaling like they have there.
Yeah, I know. Hawaii is
so-
actually notable for that, right? Hawaii is notable for the large waves, the tunnel, whatever, the surfing, right? Large waves, right?
Yeah, well, surfing started in Hawaii, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Started
look,
with the salt wave and caught it.
I have observations from 77 foot high, and there should be if we were on a globe, then the horizon would be 10.6 miles away from me, but I'm seeing 20 miles. So at least for your stuff, B-ball, there was an actual explanation. I gave this to you before. Ranty has given it to you. It's not our fault if you can't understand or doesn't want to understand it.
Well,
I don't want to insult you, but if you don't want to understand it or you're not looking into it, I don't know.
I mean, could it be that maybe you're wrong about something? It's just something. You gotta be wrong about something. I'm wrong about stuff all the time.
Are you talking to me? Is it?
Yep.
Oh, I can be wrong like anyone, but I'm not wrong about this. I'm correct about this.
We should
Okay,
ask
well, this is-
Nappy. We should ask.
Yeah, Nappy. What's up, Nappy?
Listen, just real quick. Let me just jump in real quick because this is a point that I've made with B-ball and he has yet to step up to the plate. B-ball, are you still there?
B-ball.
I'll pretend to be B-ball. What's up, man?
B-ball, are you still there?
In Ireland, we have waves made of marshmallows.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say it for the record. So B-ball is claiming that the water that we're seeing is Earth curve, and he just estimated that it could be around 3 miles away. The burden lies with him to then verify that water at that point of demarcation is 3 miles away. Now, if
And
he's
at
able
rest, Travis.
yeah,
And at rest.
no. I'm not going to say that. Just let me say what I'm going to say. So, if B-ball were able to get somebody on a boat and he sets up in his normal spot and he gets that guy out on a boat and that boat sits on that line and B-ball says, "Yeah, you're right at the curve. You're right at the curve, bro. What how many miles away are you from me?" And that guy goes, 7. Then it's not Earth curve.
Good
B-ball.
Yeah,
B-ball, you have to verify.
Keep saying that. You can keep saying that all you want, man.
Listen,
It's not
the
Earth
fact
curve.
that
I mean,
the
of course,
fact.
that's what you believe, of course.
Okay, B-ball, do you not?
I'm sorry,
think
I was
that you-
away because I had a bad connection. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. B-ball, do you not think that you have the burden to verify that observation where the water ends and you think that's Earth curve? Do you not think that it's your burden to verify the distance to that observation?
Well, I mean, you can pull out the curve calculator. You can find out exactly where the horizon is.
Okay, that's not verifying. That's calculating what you think.
So, well, Travis, how often do you verify where the horizon is in any of your
I'm not making any claims that depend upon.
Well, the claim that you're making is that, because I can see this house from however far away, you're just because it's not Earth curve. But how did you verify that?
Well, you don't have to verify a non-claim. He's just asking you, when you made your claim, which you are making, is how did you verify it? Which, of course, you can't, because we're both looking at the exact same image, and you're going to come to your conclusion, and we come to our conclusion. And this is why there's no verification, because any verification would bring us right back to the picture that we're looking at.
So when we watch Travis's videos, that's verified that's because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like that all the time.
Why are you taking the attention off of your evidence and putting it back on Travis? Let's get back to yours.
Exactly.
Well, the claim is that you need to go out multiple days, right? And we'll see different things. Well, I went out multiple days, and I saw the same thing.
No, you didn't.
Well, no, that wasn't the verification Travis was talking about. He was talking about putting a boat on that hump, putting a boat on that hump and verifying.
Yeah, hold on, Aaron.
Well, I believe in one of those clips, there's actually a boat, which you can only see the top of.
That's got nothing to do with where the water ends, B-ball. The issue is where the water ends that you're claiming to be Earth curve.
Is there a clear line where the water ends and everything else begins? There's a pretty definitive line. You can.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. You bet.
So, but your claim is that that's created by what? By
B-ball.
By what? See, I get so many different
B-ball.
Different excuses. I get shoaling, I get waves, I get
B-ball.
tsunami waves, I get.
Okay, stop talking.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, B-ball, it's called the R of the radius of the Earth. Okay.
Hold on.
Now,
hold on. Stop.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, just stop for a second. B-ball again. I am not making any claims. I'm asking you.
I know you never make any claims. I know.
That's not true. Okay, listen. You are giving us a classic demonstration of deflection and reversing the burden back on us. Okay, please, listen. Please,
I got something to say about that.
Okay, hold on, just real quick. Two things. You're making the claim that water line is Earth curve. I'm asking you to verify that. You can't just calculate it on the math because that will show you what.
Because I can't.
Okay, stop.
Because I can't see the rest of the building, and I can't see the island in front of the building, or I can't see the marina in front of the building, which I'm at 8 feet, and there's things on that island and in that marina that are taller than 8 feet.
And
So
since
that's
when
how
does
I came to the conclusion, like, wow, I can't see any of this stuff. Shouldn't I be able to see some of this stuff?
There's a plethora.
Well, since when does the majority have to prove something that's already been proven to the minority?
Oh, no. We're not slipping away back into this. Come on now.
Brandon, let's be honest here. Why would the consensus
let me
have
get back
to prove
to my
it to
question
the
for
minority?
B-ball. I had a question for B-ball, which was, is your camera level? I mean, were you shooting pretty level, B-ball?
Yeah, my camera was pretty level.
Okay, so you're shooting.
I mean,
you think if I
didn't angle my camera, if my camera wasn't level, I would see something different.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just asking you. So you're shooting over a curve. Your camera is level, but yet a hump rises up into your field of view, right?
Let me just finish my two points. I'm going to reiterate my primary point. My primary point, B-ball, is please.
Why do you have to?
How did I verify where the water?
I don't think he finished asking his question. Please let's.
Okay, great.
Not interrupt.
Great. Okay, great. That's the first point. The first point is, please find a way to verify where that apparent hump of water is. The second thing, and I made this comment on your videos, and I don't think that you've responded. There's one building that you show us repeatedly, and then you zoom in on that building, you show it to us. I have pointed out that there are different levels of the floor of that building missing in one image, okay? And then in another image, you can see more. So you can see five. I'm
not.
Okay, I wasn't done. Hold on.
Go ahead.
That building we saw 5 floors in one image. In another image, we saw 7 floors. So if you have a static location that is curvature, how is it that it can show more floors in one image and less floors in another image?
Well, we know water is not static, right? It moves. But the point is that no matter how many days I go out here, I'm never going to see the bottom of the building.
And I've already said this to you as well. That, to me, shows that you have a consistent climate that rarely changes in Hawaii.
And isn't that the type of climate that we want?
Also,
We don't want
also a
something that's going to be
dissonance.
all muddy. We
Also
don't
a
want something
dissonance
that's all
to
muddy
try
and
again, right? To
constantly
keep doing it. How about you go to
Aaron,
another
come on,
bay?
man.
How about you
Come
go to
on, man.
another
Can
bay?
you let me
Try
finish?
another bay.
Wait,
Try another bay.
hold on, Aaron. Let Travis
So you
finish
want
his
me to-
line of questioning, please.
Okay.
Can you let me? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
So
go
you
ahead.
want me to go somewhere where the conditions are always changing, so that I always get
No,
mirages?
I see. That's a
refraction?
non sequitur.
This
I
is,
did not.
th-
No, I
but
did.
that's what you get. But
No,
that's what you get all the time. That because the conditions where you're at.
we are in different geographical locations. My climate is not going to be the same as yours. Okay, but listen to me.
So
Okay,
that's why.
great.
That's why some of your stuff is inconclusive, because you always only show stuff that's heavily distorted.
That is absolutely not true.
Sort of is.
It sort of is not. I've shown you. We just looked at a still image of 2 panels where we had a clear line of sight.
You're right. You're right. You got me there. You got me. I admit it.
Well, I don't get that. Consistently, I don't get that.
B-ball, that's because the conditions of your climate create refraction on a consistent presentation. It's not going to change very often. I've watched all 8 of your videos, and in 2 of them, I saw an inferior mirage. In 6 of them, I did not. But there are 2 where there is an inferior mirage.
So
okay, so how many of them can I actually see what's hidden behind the water?
Each time you see exactly what you're supposed to.
If you want to do a real test,
is that consistent with, hold on, is that consistent with a flat earth globe?
What's flat earth consistency?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's consistent with both models.
How so?
Because refraction is the variable that we have to take into consideration, not the curve of the Earth. That's not the issue primarily. That's a secondary conclusion that we might be able to make. But my point is, again, in the images where we had an inferior mirage with your building, we had less floors of the building visible, and that was not due to Earth curve.
So do you think there will be a day when I go out when I'll be able to see even more all the way down to the bottom of the building?
I don't know. That'd be fantastic. But I can show you in my footage where that is the case.
You're breaking up. I'm sorry. You're breaking up.
Next time it's raining good again.
I said, hold on, just real quick. I said it would be fantastic if you could do that. I can show you in my footage where that is the case.
I think you're breaking up, B-ball.
No,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. No, we're losing you. But again, I think that this is getting turned back around. So he made a claim that it wasn't any of these other effects. You asked a question, how did he verify that the horizon was 3 miles away, which was his claim?
Correct.
And he put forward that that is because of Earth curve, that he sees that horizon at 3 miles away. How did he validate or verify any of that?
He said with the
So how would you like me to
calculator. He said with the
There's
curve
3
calculator.
to the left and 3 to the
I
right.
already told you, B-ball.
Go out there with a boat? I don't own a boat.
Okay, listen, bro. That's why this shit takes a lot of work, okay?
Nope,
3
nobody has
miles
a
to the
boat.
left. 3
And nobody
miles.
has a boat in Hawaii.
Let's say instead of using my camera, I used a laser and I pointed it at one of those buildings, right? And I leveled the laser with the water because the water is always flat and level, right? Like a laser.
No.
And I put a target at 8 feet at the bottom of the 8 feet off the water on the other. Should I be able to hit the target? If I'm pointing at the building, would I be able to hit the target on the other side?
Why don't you?
I like
do it?
Travis's better. Yeah,
Why don't you
Travis's,
do it and figure it out?
Hey, man, I can't hear you. I can't hear you guys. I'm sorry.
I like Travis's idea better. Just somebody that has a boat. You might know somebody. You live in Hawaii. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
rent the
everybody's got
fucking
a
boat.
And
Charter a boat
have
for 2
them
hours.
go out. They have you know, they know where they're at. You know, you can make contact with them on a cell phone. It's pretty simple. And just say, how far out are you? You know, to this in this direction. Okay, I got you on camera. And he's going to tell you, I'm this far away from you. That's it. It's pretty simple.
Silent Zero, we're getting some feedback coming through your mic.
I missed all of that, man. I had to cut out real quick.
Yeah, well, it's nothing new. You've heard it before, so just man up and do the job.
What I was saying
He's on the far side of the moon.
if we had a laser, like you guys love laser tests, and my laser's 8 feet above the water, and I shoot it out to the same buildings that I'm looking at, is the beam of the laser going to hit a target 8 feet above the water on the other side?
It depends on the
why are you
level of
asking?
refraction.
Why are you asking what it's going to do to us? Why don't you go do it and then tell us what it does?
Well, I'm asking because you guys love doing laser tests.
Okay, here we go,
The
Aaron.
water's
Hold
supposed
on.
to be flat
Here we
and
go.
level.
Okay, B-ball.
Travis?
It depends on the level of refraction of the day. Okay, I have had mirror flashes. I've done mirror flashes with my two friends where we could not see the mirror flash from one location during one part of the day. An hour later, they were in that same location and we could see the mirror flash. The only thing that changed was the condition of the medium. So it depends on the condition of the medium.
So is the beam of the laser, is it going to bend up or is it going to bend down?
Yes.
Because when I shoot the laser out, it's and I'm looking out at the buildings that I'm looking at, I can only see like the 12th floor or so. So when I shoot the laser out, is it gonna bend down or is it gonna hit where I'm pointing the laser?
Yes. It's going to hit the water.
It's gonna no,
It's
but
going
I'm
to hit
not
the
pointing
water.
it at the water.
That water has been
I'm
welled
pointing
up
it
by
at
tsunami
I'm
shoaling.
not pointing it at the I'm not pointing it at the
But
water.
you're pointing
The
it at
laser
8 foot.
is level with the water.
Yeah, but you're pointing it at 8 foot high, yeah? But you're being blocked. It's going to hit the water. That water is welling up. That's a real
It depends. It depends on how warm the water is and all the stuff, though.
Well, if you look at the
I'm
YouTube
above
page,
the
there's a
water.
demonstration at the moment showing that.
Yeah, he's
showing
not
this
getting
exact
it,
thing.
Brian. Okay, listen.
I'm above the water. I'm not
Right.
on the water. I'm above
Right.
I know, but
hold on, just real quick. Hold on, just real quick. I'm sorry, Brian. I understand exactly what you're saying. B-ball, for whatever reason, is not making the connection. He's not gonna.
I'm not making a connection.
You the answer that you
Wow, you're roboting really bad.
Right now
You're roboting.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, Travis.
I have a.
I'm not.
I thought it was trying to be
I have an
sarcastic by talking really slow.
I have an explanation I just thought of like, let's say B-ball or other arguments there. It's called social dissonance. Instead of social distancing, it's a social group of dissonance, right? So Brian comes up with a great or just a logical point. Hey, the laser's gonna hit the water. I mean, even if you're on a ball, dude, it's curving away from you at all times, isn't that? Right? And but the laser is gonna hit the fucking water, right, people?
Yeah, if I'm pointing it at the water, no, I'm not pointing at the water.
If it shoots out level.
Okay, you're saying because of the waves, the waves are gonna come all the way up 8 feet above the mean sea level, and it's gonna block the laser. Is that what you're saying?
Brandon, can I say something?
Go ahead, Silent Zero.
Yeah, B-ball. Do we agree that above the water there's like there's breeze and air, right?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that that stuff gets warm up also, right?
Yes.
All right. When you're shooting the laser, that laser is going through the breeze, the air, and everything. And if that air and the breeze of water and everything is hotter, it's gonna make the light move in different directions.
It's gonna bend down, right?
No.
Well, doesn't light bend towards the denser medium?
I don't know. I'm
Depends on
just giving you
depends
the
on the
answer.
temperature.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
we
I'm
all know
saying.
that.
It depends on the temperature and everything. I'm just answering the question on that you were asking why it's gonna hit the water, where's the light gonna go? Well, it all depends on the temperature and the weather. Because
Well,
when
I
you
only
shoot
go.
the laser, you're not shooting it through a vacuum or anything. It's going through air, it's going through breeze of water, it's going through a lot of things, right? And those things are affected by the temperature, the weather, and all a lot of things.
He knows all this. He's just asking questions. It's like
Well,
you're
I know.
playing
Yeah,
stupid b-ball. It
I know
really
that.
is. I mean, you know that there's a
No, I'm
bunch
not.
of
I'm not
factors
playing
that could
stupid.
affect your sight line to that other
I mean, you
shore.
guys love bringing up laser tests, so you know.
No, come on,
Yeah,
man.
but
Go,
we're not
go
the ones
do
who
it.
brought that up
Laser
today.
tests
Just
You
go
did.
do
are
it, dude.
valid.
Go do it, dude.
Yeah, you go do it.
Come on, and then
If you
come
want a
back to
good,
us
That's
and
a good
prove us
idea.
wrong. Prove
yeah,
us
B-ball,
wrong
if
or
you
right.
want to do a good test, how about you go and shoot every single day for a whole year during the 4 seasons, and you may see a difference. Right?
Yeah,
Maybe on winter you're
So
gonna
how
see a
many?
different. You're gonna see one picture every day, a different, and then on summer you're gonna see a different one. So just keep doing tests.
So how many times do you think I should go out and film the same building?
Go for a
How many
whole
times do you
fucking
think?
year if you're really interested. A whole
Yeah,
year, man.
So when I
that's what
so when I get
Rumpus
to like
and somebody
110
else.
days,
Yeah, Rumpus and somebody else told
and
Travis, you have to give us a year's worth of daily snapshots, 8 hours a day. Right? Remember, Travis?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they all have to be in focus, and they all have to be the same, blah, 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 and the same. Yeah.
So, B-Ball, we're going to hold you to the same standard that your fellow
hey, that's
side
great.
or whatever
I
holds
will.
us.
I haven't been able to
Do
go
it
out
at full
because
low tide. All the
I
time.
haven't been able to
Full
go
low
out
tide.
because the beach is the same. The location that I usually go to is blocked off because the beaches were closed. So I haven't been able to go
Damn
out to that same
COVID.
spot.
Were you going
COVID
at the
didn't
same time
exist.
every day, b-ball, or were you going at different times a day?
Yeah, pretty much the same time. I think one of the times was around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but most of the time I try and go at lunchtime.
Is that high tide or low tide in that area?
I don't know.
You don't even know?
No.
That's not a good sign, brother. But let me read a couple things here. I appreciate you giving us that video to watch, B-Ball. Thanks for coming on. Wind Rider, $20. This is for Randy to get a couple pints for medicinal value. Thank you very much. I will remind everybody that super chats go to Brandon. Yeah, shout out. I would buy Ranty a couple pints if I could. If you do want to donate directly to Ranty, use the PayPal or get a channel subscription. You can choose how much each month. It's a good way to go. Or Patreon.
And Patreon.
Patreon.
Hey, you know what would be a really good test?
Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Hold on. Godzilla, $5. I always think that stands for Californian. I wish they had their own money. Canadian, $5. Godzilla 37. The buildings in the video should tilt backwards with the curve. They clearly don't. Equals video is useless for you Globers. Yeah, we can respond.
How much?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we always talk about. How much? Yep. Gadget Inspector. Top floors of a building, the windows should be closer together on a curved earth. We don't see that. Gadget Inspector is with us here in the Discord, and I'm curious what you mean by that, Gadget. Thanks to you guys for the super chats, by the way. I appreciate that. And hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Go ahead, Gadget.
He means because of the angle, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
If you have like let's say like a toy with windows, and then you tilt it backwards, then those windows are gonna become like one. You know, it's gonna become one.
Yeah.
That's,
If they're going
that's
over
what
the
he
curve.
means. Yeah,
Can I
but
just
it's
say
really
something?
it's really small.
How
It's
much?
really small. I don't
Can I
think
just
it
say
would.
something
Yeah,
here?
Gadget, go ahead.
Like,
Gadget's here. Let's hear what he has
if
to
we're
say.
looking at a building, okay, we're looking at a building, like, let's say 20 miles away. If that building is going over the curve, the top windows should be closer together than the bottom windows.
Really? Are you serious?
If the building is going over the
By how
curve,
much?
Yes, B-ball, we're
and it
serious.
should be tilted. Like,
By how
you
much?
take your phone, okay? Look at everybody in here, right? Take your phone, okay? I'm on my phone, right? You see the list of people in here, right? Bend your phone, put it horizontally, okay? All the names become one.
Yeah,
That's
you
going
think
over a
that's how
curve.
much tilt we should see in the buildings? I don't think so, man.
No, but it should be
Well,
measurable. I mean,
fuck
George
you,
Netnick,
you ball
George
airers.
Netnick,
We can
I
see
think it's
fucking
like I think
boats
it would
going
be like
over a
less than 1
curve.
degree.
or anybody with a
I
theodolite
think it would be
should be
less
able to
than a
measure
half a
that,
degree.
right? Yeah.
What you
Oh, come
mean,
on,
half a
B-Bell.
Less than
degree?
half a
You
degree.
globators say that we can see boats going over a curve.
That's ridiculous.
Okay?
Come on,
That
if you
doesn't
guys
make
don't
sense.
call out that ridiculous, that's ridiculous. Come on.
But
B-Ball, to
B-ball,
be
he's
fair,
got a good point.
B-Ball, to be fair, you guys think we
Yeah,
should
you
see our own asses.
globetrotters,
Come on.
globetrotters
No,
say,
but you
the
know,
boat goes over the curve, but we can see buildings 25 miles away, 35 miles away, and when you measure, the windows are the same size. That doesn't fucking make sense to me.
Okay, thanks for the super chat, Gadget. That's an interesting thought, and I understand the mathematical argument against it. But you know, at the end of the day, we're talking about a ball that doesn't exist. So, I mean, show us evidence of a ball first, of any kind.
do you know what?
Your photographs
I
certainly
can't
are not
do it.
evidence. You haven't
Show us
substantiated how
some
far
humps.
away the horizon is. There's obviously
some
other
humps.
factors
Hey, do you
that
know
could
what would
block
be a
the
really good
buildings in
test
the
for us to do?
background that you seem to be ignoring and won't address.
Or the humps. He won't address the humps.
Oh,
The hump? What hump? The hump
The,
of water.
the
in front
camel
of the building?
hump, the camel humps.
Hey, do you know what would be a really good test?
what?
Tell us.
Because I know I'm pretty sure that all of us here own a camera, right?
Okay, yeah.
Just tell us the test. Just go.
All right. So does everyone agree that the Earth is the North is in the center, and South is all around the outside? Is that what you guys agree on?
Yes, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Let's just say north is one way and south is the other way. How about that?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
north.
good.
Well,
They're opposite.
I can agree with
on a
that.
flat Earth, North would be in the center, right?
They're opposite.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
one another.
What's the
Just
test?
tell us.
No,
Yeah,
let's
so-
just
Okay,
say
I'm
that
just
the
trying to make sure-
magnetic
I'm just trying to
field
see
is
if
in
you
No,
one
guys
because
agree.
the
direction.
magnetic
Real
field,
And
though. That's
Hey,
Just
Doug,
the
what I
opposite
don't
come on,
from
man.
that
Can I
then.
finish? So I can get to the end. So do you got? I mean, North is in the center and South is on the outside and on the around the ice wall, right?
What is the test,
Everyone
B-ball?
understanding?
What's the
Check
test?
Nobody's
your
claiming a
model
nice
onto that,
wall.
What's the test?
Can you just let me? Can you guys just agree or no?
No, what's
I'm
the
sorry.
test?
Can you just-
Oh, piss off.
What's the
All right,
test?
so
B-ball?
Brandon, you're in the United States along with Travis, and I'm pretty sure we have some people here that are in the UK, right?
All right.
What's the test?
He's gonna ask enough
Yes,
to
no,
go.
yes,
Yes. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes. Keep
yes,
going.
no. Okay, so south for Travis and Brandon will be in a certain direction on a flat Earth, along with south in the UK or Australia. If we're all pointing south on the flat Earth, we're all pointing in different directions, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Away from north. We're all pointing
Okay.
out from
Okay.
north, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how about we all take our cameras, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys own P900s. We go out at night, we point our cameras south, and we do a time lapse of the southern slopes.
And then?
This
No,
is epic.
This is nonsense, and I tell you why it's nonsense. For a
This
start,
is epic.
Well,
This is epic, guys.
What's the
Hold on.
test?
Let me
It sounds
finish.
like we're talking about an observation, not a test.
This is epic. Mind blowing right here. Come on.
Come on, B-ball. Oh, he must have dropped off just when he got to the punchline.
No, this is nonsense.
No, he's still there. He's back.
Hey, did you guys lose?
Yeah, we lost you.
Test.
Time
You,
ago,
you,
man.
you mentioned the observation. Now, what is
Okay.
the test?
Okay, so I think we should all go out at night, right? We all live on different parts of the flat Earth, And if for south, all of us south is in a different direction. So let's all go out and we'll do a time lapse facing south. And we'll do a time lapse of the southern celestial pole, and let's see if they. Well, let's compare our images and see if they're the same.
So
Will
you're,
you be taking
hold on.
magnetic declination into account?
Oh no, let's not get there yet. Let's just say people. If you're
What
on
is
a ball,
people?
if you're on a
One
ball,
second.
which way is north?
What
Do you
what
point
direction
down?
is south on your board?
One at a time. One at a time, please. I can't hear
So
everybody.
B-ball on a ball. If you're on a ball, B-ball. Which way is north? Do you point to the North Pole? So you point down under your feet, right, to go to the North Pole?
North is
North is shooting out into some space,
know,
right? North is
I mean, do
shooting
you know
out
that?
into
Do you
some
know the?
space, right?
Do you know the globe model, or are you just making stuff up?
I'm
Yeah, it's a
putting
big
you
ball,
on
right?
your ball. I'm putting you on your ball to test. First, you should do it, right?
Okay,
And then
if I point north, if I'm on the equator and a bunch of other people are on the equator and we point north, we're all pointing in the same direction.
Cool.
Hang on, B-ball. You do realize that if everyone pointed south on your globe model, they wouldn't be pointing towards the south celestial pole.
We're all pointing to
You know
the
that, don't
same
you?
location. Oh.
No, you realize that, don't you?
Who's
Hey,
that Irish man there
hey,
talking?
Brian,
Say
let's
that. Hold
let
on.
him.
Say
Let's
that
give
again.
it to him.
Say
Yeah,
that
Brian,
again.
let's give it to him.
Yeah.
Let's give it to
If
him.
everyone,
When he's
if
pointing south.
It doesn't work on a globe though.
No,
Brian, let's give it to him. Let's say they're on the globe and they're
One
all pointing
second.
south. They're in the southern
1 second.
hemisphere. They're all pointing south, real quick.
No, don't give it to him.
Now
Don't
tell
give
them
him
all to
patience.
point. Now tell them all to turn around. Tell
No.
them all to turn around and point north.
One
and
at a
tell
time,
me which
please.
direction
Yeah.
that points.
Oh, all right, Brian. What do you got? Go ahead.
I have a great example to explain.
Hold on,
say.
guys. We're stepping all over
Okay.
each other here. Hold on, Brian. You go ahead.
Yeah.
You had a response.
There's a major problem, and that is that his south is what's known as true south. Just like his north is true north, because he's the globe model, or it's where all the longitude lines meet. That's true north and true south on his model of belief. So if a load of people pointed south on his model, they wouldn't be pointing towards the celestial south pole. They wouldn't be pointing it. They'd be away from that by about 3/4 of a degree.
That's interesting.
It doesn't work.
Well, we're gonna point. We're gonna point towards the celestial pole. We're pointing.
Yeah, but you're not
towards the
pointing.
north-
But
the south celestial
you're
pole.
not pointing south. Right? Like I mean, if we all point towards the celestial pole, there's no guarantee we're all pointing south.
Brian, if everyone on the globe pointed towards the south celestial pole,
yeah, they wouldn't
in
be
the southern
pointing
hemisphere,
south. They wouldn't be
all
pointing
be
south.
pointing in the same direction.
Yeah, but they're not pointing south, people.
You wouldn't be ball, because if you were on the other side of the world,
I'm pointing south.
Wait, let's hear what Gleam has to say. He hasn't been on
now.
all night. Gleam, go ahead.
Gleam, I'm pointing south right now, and it's not towards the celestial pole.
Yeah.
Can I give an example?
Wait, guys,
the only way you can.
We got
the only way
25.
you
We
can
got
get
24
through-
people in here. Gleam hasn't been here all night. Let's hear Gleam, and then we'll go to you, Silent Zero. Gleam, go ahead.
Ain't the Irish intelligent all the same. Thank you very much for that, Brian. Logic.
Gleam, go ahead.
Yeah, just
thank
just
you.
to say,
Thank
the only way three people in three locations can see it in the same angle is if they're all in close proximity at the South Pole itself. Any others, the angle is getting thrown off. So if you're in, let's say, Australia, South Africa, and South America, they're all looking at different angles at the same time. So one will be directly south, one will be looking southeast, one will be looking southwest. You can never see them directly south all at the same time. I'm out.
What's south?
Yeah, cool.
If we were on a globe and everyone in the southern hemisphere pointed at the southern celestial pole, we would all be pointing in the same direction. If we were on a flat Earth and everyone pointed south, everyone would be pointing in a different direction, like spokes on a wheel.
I'll have to say it to you again.
On your globe.
Hold on.
And everyone points south, right? Everyone points south. We're all just real quick, guys. It's so simple. It's so
Go ahead.
simple.
Yeah. It's my turn. Can you hear me?
Yes, go
Tell
ahead,
him
Silent
to turn
Zero.
around and point north, dude.
He's
It's
incorrect.
shooting out of
Aaron,
space.
please. Silent Zero.
All right, B-ball. I'm gonna give you an example so that you can picture in your head. Let's say you have two persons on the 90 degree on the North Pole, right? And you ask them to point to the South Pole. Are they gonna point outside of them, or are they gonna point to their feet?
No, they're gonna point in the direction of south. They're not gonna point
Well,
towards the ground.
see, there's where you're wrong. In a globe Earth, south for a person on the North Pole is down on their feet.
No.
Why are you guys arguing their argument? Okay, tell them to turn around and point north. Once they're all lined up,
Okay,
these
okay,
believers are all fucking pointing
I
south.
turn around and
Tell them to
I
turn
turn around and
around
point
and
north.
point
Then
north.
what?
Damn.
It's gonna be opposite your
Okay,
fucking compass, and you're gonna be shooting out into your goddamn space, b-ball.
Okay, I turn around. Okay, I turn around and point north. Now on a flat Earth, where are we pointing? We're all pointing towards
On
the
a
center.
flat Earth, we can turn around and point north and south. Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay, so we're
Because
all
we're not
pointing towards the
moving.
center, right?
Because we're not moving.
Okay, so we're on a. I'm gonna say it again because I keep getting cut off. On a flat Earth, we all point our cameras north, or our fingers, whatever. We're all pointing towards the center of the flat Earth. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And on a ball,
if all of us
on a ball,
wait, I'm not done.
We
Hold
don't
on.
know that
Can
for
I
certain. We
finish?
don't know the layout.
on a ball, we all be pointing on different angles, though.
But we're all if we all point towards Polaris, we're all pointing in the same direction. We're not pointing at the North Pole. We're just pointing north. We're pointing out into space towards Polaris.
See, what you're
So,
asking is,
on a flat Earth,
if we all point south,
hold on.
right,
So,
in different parts of the world, we'll be all pointing. If we all point at the south celestial pole, then we won't all be pointing south because we'll have to be pointing at where it is. If I point south during the day and someone is looking at
I'm
the
not
south
talking about
celestial
pointing
pole
at.
in a different country at night time, then we're not pointing in the same
I'm not.
direction, are we?
I'm not talking about pointing at Antarctica. I'm talking about pointing at a point in space that's the southern celestial pole.
We may be pointing, in that
right?
case, you may be
So,
pointing
on
at
a
the same
flat
point in space, the same star. Let's say we're all pointing at the same star. That doesn't necessarily equal the same direction. You guys are not pointing all in the same direction. It's just at the same object, right? Like if there was something on the ceiling and three of us were in three different corners and we're pointing our cameras at it, is that the same direction or we're pointing at the same object?
Yeah, we're all
exactly.
Because we're all standing on the same surface. We're all standing on a flat surface. But if
still
we're
not
on a
pointing
flat
in the
Earth,
same
and we're all pointing towards a star, the south celestial pole. On a flat Earth, we're all pointing. We would be pointing in different directions, but seeing the same thing. How would
B-ball.
that
Yeah, but
work?
so for you to understand, compasses only point to north, okay? So that just so you understand.
I can make the same point he's doing on a sphere. You get to the North Pole, point up, or north, you're going to be pointing up at the North Star, right? If you're at the celestial north. And then point south, you can point in any direction. If you're on a sphere, you're at the North Pole, point south, you can literally point in 360 degrees, you're pointing south.
There is no other direction, right, Rakia? If you're at the North Pole, there is no other direction.
Actually,
south.
it's straight
well,
down.
actually, to point south, wouldn't you have to point down?
Yeah, you would actually it's down, but what I'm saying is he would point out in different directions.
Goodness.
Well, you didn't say travel. You said point.
The thing that you guys are missing
from the North Pole. B-ball from the North Pole. Which way would you travel to go south? Which way would you travel to go south from the North Pole?
You travel in any direction.
That's what I'm saying.
At the North Pole, would you be able to see the southern celestial pole at all?
Not your point.
If you were at the North
Pole. That's not your point.
At the North Pole, would you be able to see the southern celestial pole at all?
Probably not. Have you been there though?
I'm asking the question.
Have you been there? No, probably not.
Are you
What's the point?
obfuscating your own point, B-ball?
Okay. So the point what I'm trying to say is if we're on a flat Earth and we're all pointing south, we're all pointing in different directions. Is that too hard to understand?
No, we're all pointing south. South is a direction.
We're all pointing south.
East,
out, away from north. You're pointing
south is away from north.
Yeah, but no, he wants to change it to the air.
And someone else, hold on, if I'm in Hawaii, right, and someone in the UK is pointing south, we're pointing in total opposite directions.
No, you're pointing south. South is a direction,
Oh my
B-ball.
God. Can you?
It's
South is
relative,
away from
bro.
north.
B-ball, can I just
You're
say
not
something?
pointing the
Can I
same
just say
way,
something?
but you're still pointing the
It
same
is that.
direction.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
B-ball,
Really.
we're going around the sun, right? What is it? 67,000 miles an hour around the sun. Okay, for thousands of
Yeah,
years.
We're not
How-
talking about that. We're
no,
not talking
No, we are talking about
but
that
how
now. Go
can
ahead,
we?
Gadget.
We're not talking about.
How can
Oh
we even
God.
see the North Star? That should move,
Really?
and the
Are
sun.
you going to change the subject?
I think
No,
that's a
that's what
legitimate
NASA
question, and I
says.
think that you don't have an answer, and that's a good thing to go
This
into
is what
final
NASA
thoughts on.
says.
Okay,
So
Okay,
we'll
so
go
we're
with
doing.
final
around the sun
thoughts. You can either go
come on.
first or last, B-ball, since you've been the most vocal baller. You pick. First or last?
No, go ahead. Let him talk. Go ahead. Let him go. Let him go.
Okay, then we will go down the list then. We'll go with ambiguous truth. Final thoughts, please.
I've been kind of not listening for the past 30 minutes, so kind of skipped me, but thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming. Brian Leakey. No, we'll come back if you come back, Brian. Brian's Logic.
Thanks for having me on, Brandon. South on the globe is not the South Celestial Pole because of the longitude lines. Thank you.
Up the dubs.
Fair enough. F. Evangelist.
Up to date.
For the discussions regarding the North Pole and the South Pole, to this day, I've never
Data.
seen
You skipped. Sorry, mate.
sorry.
F. Evangelist.
We'll start with FE, mate. It's okay. Yeah, mate. I've only heard the last 10 minutes of this, and it's just more of the same unprovable nonsense. I can't be bothered with it. So, see you soon. Good.
FE Data. Data, you there?
Yeah, so I have never seen any photographic or video evidence of the South Pole rotation from underneath looking up, nor the North Pole. Never seen any of this, the images of the poles like this. So, where's it at? Shout out to Ranty, and thanks for having me.
Thanks, Data. Gadget.
Yeah, thanks very much. I got in here late. I just listened to B-ball talking a load of shite. It's not making any sense. Keep up the good work, Brandon, and give a shout out to Ranty when you're talking to him. Cheers.
Will do. Thanks, Gadget. Gleam.
Salute. Yeah, I only joined in on the end. I haven't been listening a while, but if you have a look in the general chat, just on the play out, I'm sure he won't strike you at all. He's a flat earther anyway. But it's exactly showing how one singular star trail viewed through a particular domed, let's say atmosphere is what he's putting it as, produces two different concentric circles. If you load it up, you'll see salute to you and salute to Ranty, and everybody get them likes up. We need 100. Come on.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, Gleam. Yep, hit the likes. If you haven't hit it yet, please just take a second to do that. All right, I got that video up now. Gleam, I rock well. We didn't say hello to you during the broadcast, but you got any final thoughts? No? Jimbo. Oh, there he is.
Great show. Not
Yeah,
much to say.
just want to
Keep
say
up the
that
good work.
stars have a scale of magnitude, and the southern celestial pole star is a -2 in magnitude, which means it's dark black. You can't see it. You can't film it. There's nothing above you to film. It'd have to be like a positive number to be lit. But oddly enough, they have a negative scale on these lights. And the one at the South Pole is a -2 magnitude. It means it's dark, it's black, you can't see it. So, I don't know.
All right, thanks, Jimbo. As I'm talking, I'm seeing that we've got some bad distortion coming through on the feed. So I apologize for that. Not much I can do at this point. I rock well. I think we did hear you before that, so thanks for joining the show. And thank you, Jimbo, for your final thoughts. Aaron, what's up, man?
I thought Left Lane was before me.
He left.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fist bumps to Ranty and you, Brandon, and also B-Ball. Just thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate your videos. I watch them. Right, we look at your stuff. We definitely do. We scrutinize it, actually. And thank you for coming on and holding your own here with this crowd. So yeah, cheers, panel, and thanks everybody, and carry on.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Rakia.
Yeah, good show. Appreciate your work, man.
Thanks, Rakia. Rob.
Yeah, I got a minute here. I want to start by saying thanks, Ball, before I start slagging him for not really knowing anything about his own. It's unfortunate that you're too stuck in your ways to accept. That's all I'm gonna.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. SE.
Yes, sir. Another good show. I'm surprised. Like the shout out B-Ball finally came on. Way to go, man. Shout out to Ranty. I hope Ranty's okay. And a big shout out to Brian's Logic, who brought us a new term. Well, at least I'd never heard of it. Tsunami shoaling. I like that. Good show, guys. Good night.
Thanks, SE. We're going to skip back one before we go to Silent Zero and go to Ryan Eartherton. I think he dropped out and came back. Ryan, final thoughts?
Oh, not much. I just been listening for the most part, man. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Thanks for coming. Silent Zero.
Hey, thank you for having me. I just want to say that B-Ball, pointing to South Pole is just pointing away from the North Pole. That's all it is. Compasses don't point to the south if you only put one needle on it. So just so that you are aware of that, and that's it.
Cool. Thanks, Silent Zero. Real Bob Dole.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the point B-Ball was trying to make exactly with the pointing thing, but this is one of those conversations where at first it might seem like, oh well, that's an obvious thing. What do north, south, and east and west mean? What are they direct? What does direction mean? Okay. Rob, can you mute yourself?
Oh, sorry. I just thought I was muted. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
At first it might seem one of those conversations or one of those parts where it's like that should just be self-explanatory. Everybody knows that. That's stupid to talk about. Okay. But obviously it's not stupid to talk about. Somebody was asking about if you pointed in this direction, would you all be pointing in the same direction or pointing the same way? Those aren't actually saying the same thing. Okay. North, east, south, and west are directions, but whenever you all point in the same direction, you are not necessarily all pointing the same way. On a ball, if I'm thinking about it correctly, there's only two things you could be doing if you're all pointing south. You're either pointing out over the earth into space if you're pointing south, or you're pointing directly through the earth at the imaginary South Pole. Those are the two options. Okay. And again, I'm not sure what his point was, but it's important to establish what these things mean if you're going to try and make a point or show a proof or something like that, to know everybody should be agreeing on what these terms actually are.
Yeah, good point, Bob. Thank you. Tony V.
All right. Okay, everyone, relax. It's going to be a little bit. No, sorry. First off, no Glober says there's an actual star that we're going on in South Pole. It's stars that rotate around a point. It doesn't have to be a star in the middle to make there be a point there. I mean, that's the point, I guess. The point is that point. Anyways, and you guys are right about the south being south. Okay, I can dig that. But
Did you get cut off, Tony?
yeah, I think so. I think NASA just didn't like me agreeing with you guys, so they just cut me off. Damn it. But actually, I'm working right now. I can't really speak anymore. I'm putting trying to screw together this TV monitor into this McDonald's pole, and I gotta need both hands. All right.
All
So, thank
right,
you,
all
everyone.
right. Thanks, Tony. Good stuff.
Shout out Tony V. Shout out Tony V. Yeah.
Right the hand. What's up, man?
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody who knows what I'm going to say. It's B-Ball is looking at his picture. We're seeing the same thing, and he's going to go, I see this, and we're going to go, no, it's this. So there'll never be a resolution because it's just difference of opinions. Good show, man.
Got final thoughts?
I'm sorry, you called me?
Yeah, you got final thoughts, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for having me, man. You know, I know it's been a long time since I got on. I just decided to go on, and I decided to come on and talk with you guys. Yeah, it's false to say that there is no southern celestial pole. I mean, there's no footage. That's just false. I mean, you can go out and you can view it yourself. Anybody in southern hemisphere, anybody in Australia, you can go out and you can film it for yourself. So, say that it's
That's
false.
not what that's not what I was saying.
Final
I
thoughts.
think it's my turn to talk.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, but that's not what I was saying. So correct yourself, buddy.
my turn to talk,
Hold on, Nita.
I said it's from underneath. I know, but he's incorrectly stating
Well, you can.
something,
I'll let you
even if it's
respond
final
after he's
thought.
done, and then I'm gonna go on mute, and then you guys can talk, and I'll close the show. You can respond. B-Ball, go ahead.
So yeah, and the point I was getting at is that on a flat Earth, everyone's looking out at south, and the north is in the center, and if we point south, we're all pointing in different directions. Can't visualize that and understand, like, okay, yeah, I kind of understand what you're trying to say. Then you're either just like you're stuck, as you guys say, I'm stuck, but I'm absolutely open to a flat Earth, but the observations I see do not match a flat Earth. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. But hey, man, thanks a lot for having me, and I'll catch you in the next one.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks everybody for being here. At one point, we had 25 people in the Discord, all on the show at one time. So that was an amazing turnout. So
Awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Brandon, can I just say something?
Okay.
Listen, guy.
No,
Thank you very
after show,
much.
after show.
You're doing great. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. Cheers, man.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yep, thanks, guys. And I will go on mute. You guys got the floor now. I'm going to say goodbye to the audience. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, that was interesting. And thanks to all the ballers who stopped in. Thanks to all the flat earthers and everywhere in between who came in. Good discussions. Really, really good stuff. Good observations we reviewed. Nice stuff from Travis. Even the observations from B-Ball were interesting to look at again, even though Randy did an excellent job crushing those a while back. So always fun. Appreciate all the support, and I will be back on tomorrow night at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will see all you guys later. Have a good one.